Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. I sometimes be thinking this mic don't be working that great. I don't know what's going on, but outside the thumbnail, I'm gonna give you a Crawford update. Hey, some of you might not know, most of you do, but first, let's turn to welcome back. Y'all know at the top of the hour, we always do a water check. Here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate for 100 ounces of water per day. You never know, it might just save your life. We say that if you don't drink water, because there's a lot of people out there that don't really like to drink water, at least 2 times out the day, you must drink water. And that's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning. Before you brush your teeth, before your feet hit the floor, before you do anything, it's going to take you 8 ounces now. Because if you think of your body like an engine, it's a lot of moving parts. The water is like the lube. Water, sunlight, and salt are considered life sustainers. Like every living animal has to have that in their life. I don't know about plants when it comes to salt, but definitely living animals, you must have salt. I know that sounds crazy to folks, but the human body knows it, and we've always known it because all your oldest cities in the world. Some like I could tell you in Spain, one of their oldest city is Cadiz, spelled Cadiz, Cadiz. I think that's how they pronounce it. In Mexico, you got Mexico City. Any big time city that's notorious or famous for being a big time city in any country, 9 times out of 10 was founded near a salt deposit or on a salt deposit. So water, salt, and sunlight, life sustainers. We all need them. The second time that you need to drink water is at night, at night, or you go to bed. Not looking at TV in bed, not doing other things in bed, but before you go to sleep, talking about real deep sleep. You need to drink, use some water. A lot of reads going on, recharging, rebooting, rejuvenating. cleaning out your system, cleaning out the toxins that have accumulated in your body throughout the day or throughout the weeks and years. And hopefully, first thing in the morning, you excrete them. That's the whole plan. And, the average person, depending on who you are and your genetics, burn about 900 to 1,000 calories a night in your sleep. That's a lot of calories. You can't even really do that in the gym. I'm talking about a good person who work out. Is not burning 1,000 calories nowhere near it. To be honest, one day I calculated, like, I would try to be on the tread or the elliptical like for an hour, one of those type of cardio machines for about an hour, do some other strength training. And I mean, I was hitting the gym hard. And in the end of the day, I probably only burnt about 300 calories. And that's me hitting the gym hard. I'm talking people who exercise more than an hour. And technically, they tell you if you're going to exercise, really, when they tell you stuff like this will make it confusing because they'll say you really only need to exercise 45 minutes, when you go to the gym. You only need 45 minutes. Anything over that is kind of like overkill, or you're trying to be elite, or, whatever's under elite. You're trying to be more than just a novice or casual or whatever. And so they'll say that, right? And then you'll say, well, how many times during the week should we do that? And it's like 3, 4 times. That's all you need. And that's what the doctors recommend, right? But what's not understood or gleaned by just putting the information out like that is they talk about people who are in shape already, you know, don't need to lose weight, who's very, very much conditioned. That's like the maintenance of a conditioned person that you need to do that. And you're like, whoa. So how much you need, But I mean, a lot of people didn't know or don't know that you burn a lot of calories in your sleep than you ever did during the day. And if you're gonna be into the calorie count thing, then you need to take consideration to sleep. So your calorie counts starts or your new day starts right after midnight. So, I do have a show on Sunday where I talk about finding the health in you. Um, and I've talked about everything in regards to that. So I don't want to repeat. So I haven't done the show in a while because I'll just start repeating. And sometimes repeating is good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to incorporate it in my stories that, when I'm on the show during the week, to talk about certain little things. And I have been working on recipes. That's what I do in my spare time mostly. I research food. And I research. I'm a good researcher, y'all. Um, I know y'all y'all don't know me from Eve, but I'm a good researcher. So I research. I get geek with it because one thing I've learned especially getting older or just haven't been sick before. If you ever been sick out there, like I've had cancer, amongst other things. You know, um, when you're sick, you can potentially go on a regimen of a lot of pills, and it's the stuff in the pills or the food that you don't know about that be getting to you, and it's hurting all of us. But some people understand this that some people they don't consider anything a problem until it affects them socially. If you're a guy and you're able to still pull women and do whatever young men do, you know, still be able to hold your head up amongst your peers, and whatever's going on with you is not debilitating, then to you it's not a big deal. It might be a slight problem to you, but it might not be a big deal. Like male pattern baldness. It is not natural or normal for men at 20, 21, in the early 20s to start going bald. It's not natural. There's something wrong that if you look into it and address it properly, you can course correct it. But a lot of guys, they think it's genetics. Not. It's not genetics. There's something wrong. And it's probably dealing with some kind of blood circulation, which it ain't stopping you from running fast, lifting up 250, bench pressing. You know how y'all get into those numbers. Squatting, whatever you squat, deadlifting, whatever you deadlifting, pulling all the women that you want to pull, betting them to, traveling, getting a job, have all the energy, hitting the clubs, drinking with your buddies, gambling, whatever it is that floats your boat. That male pattern baldness is not putting a dent or a stopper on any of that. So to you, you'll chuck it up to, oh, it's just genetics. This happened to my brother, this happened to my dad, or whatever. And you'll go on with yourself, and I know I'll just cut it all off. Because, when you go baldy as a man, it don't stop nothing. Still a man with all the bells and whistles, right? But you can fix that. At that age, you can almost guarantee there's some kind of circulation problem. And at that age, circulation ain't doing much to you. But you add 20 years to that, and you might have a problem, a more serious problem. Because that's how things work. They evolve, they slowly change, gradually. And a lot of times it's a degradation. And you want to address those things. And if you're a woman, on the other hand, and you're having bald spots, huge bald spots, hair so thin that your hair looks like you were, in your 60s or something. Like if you were in your 60s, late 60s, 70s, that bald spot and all those things wouldn't probably bother you as much. You probably cut your hair down or just wear a wig. And you'll chalk it up to, I'm old. I'm a senior citizen at this point. And so you never do nothing about it. Cool. It doesn't bother you. It didn't stop you. You had your 2.5 kids, white fits, and the dog, picket fits. You know what I'm saying? You had the American dream. You had your husband, you raised your kids, and then your grandmother. It didn't bother you. It didn't stop you. But if that shit started happening to you and you're 20 and 21, it's a big, big issue. Right? It's a big, big issue. And so you're going to want to address it, right? You're going to want to address that thing. Captain G Full is in the building. What's popping, King? You're going to want to address that shit. So you're going to be running to the doctor and all this stuff because you at 20, 21, in your early 20s period. With a bald problem as a woman, that's going to hinder you. You're never going to make it to, well, I ain't going to say never. Chances of you making it to getting married and raising a family, having a kid, and all that slim to none. I mean, it can happen, but you're going to feel a certain way as a woman because you're going to be like, well, who you want, you're not going to be able to get at all. That's how you're going to feel. And men are critical. Little boys, too. They can be very critical. A guy's not going to be batting at the door for a woman with huge bald spots and thinning hair like that, and they're in their 20s. It's just 9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen. And I always say never. I don't talk in absolutes or whatever. But basically, I just gave those examples as to like some of the reasons why I always say drink your water. reason why I have a health channel. And like I said, I'm going to incorporate some of the stuff that be coming up because it's not enough for me to do a whole channel, but I can incorporate it into my monologue while I'm talking this boxing because as boxing fans or as the fighters who may be listening, sometimes you might can pick up a nugget or two. Now, I'm like turning into this person where I research food heavily, heavily. I'm behind the power curve as most of you guys are because I've had organs removed, and my main organ was my thyroid gland. So I don't have one, and I'm lucky to be here. So I'm happy to be here, but it caused a lot of problems. It caused a domino effect in my whole system. But again, my biggest thing is I'm happy to be here, and I thank God that I'm still with the living. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to health and fitness, I can never get it like I want to. My brain knows. My brain on fleek. Like I got the remedy. My brain is on fleek, but I do not have control over my body, and that's a fact. It's the purity fact. And I had to go through some stuff mentally, you know, really go through some stuff because ain't nothing worse than not having control over something you should have control of. If I want to stand up, I should be able, my brain should send a message to my body that make me execute the move of standing up. I want to walk around the block. My body should get up and just walk around the block. And I can do those things, right? But in my head, I always fashion myself as a fitness guru or whatever because I like physical activity, you know. I really do. I enjoy it. And a lot of times when it comes to any kind of sports or anything, I have a propensity for it. Like I actually have a talent. Like growing up, you show me anything once, I'll have it mastered by the end of the day, or at least a couple of days. But that to me, I know that's a gift. I know that's a gift because not everybody can, be physical, especially in sports. Hell, I was better than my brother. I was better than my brothers in sports. Period. Better. Got it quicker than they did. Anything. I don't care what you can throw anything. Teach me how to play baseball. Tell me the rules. Show me what I'm supposed to do, and I bet I'll be better than them. Football, basketball, whatever. Walking on your hands, riding on one wheel on your bike, whatever it was. Just all you had to do was challenge me. But I consider now that I'm older, I be like, man, that must have been a gift because I see how it's not that easy for people to do. And so I never did, because when you young, you're not thinking about your health like you should. You're not thinking about the things that are important and all that. I can tell I can get 20 young folks in front of me and spit game and say this, and it'll be one ear out the other because they don't have this problem. But see, me having been their age and now being my age and everything in between, it'd be the wisdom talking. Like, hey, yo, I'm telling you, better listen to me. And so I don't blame young folks who don't take heed because I was the same way. I would say this, I didn't get a chance to morph into what I thought I could be or what I probably wanted to be because I got sick early in life. That yeah, I ain't telling nobody to cry for me. I ain't crying and I ain't whining neither. But I'm just saying that's what happened. So before I could even get, hone in on my skill or do what I say I want to do, it was taken from me. So um and now, I just have to live with that. Talking about my thyroid gland, y'all. And it is so important when you're talking health and fitness and this, that, and the other. So I could be here all day going into the domino effects after losing the thyroid gland to cancer or whatever. And how I wish I had the information I had now have now, because I know now that there's people who got my same issue. And when I had thyroid cancer, it was very rare. It was so rare for a woman that's 24 years old to have that. It was rare. Like normally, women who were in their mid to late 40s had that problem. Like my age group now, they had that problem. But people 24 years old, no, they didn't have that problem. So when I got it, I was like a rarity, almost like a superstar. And then they was like, "What? This girl? What? She 24?" And I'm in the room with other people like that's going through the same thing I'm going through. Like especially when we had the procedures, and they always put you in a room with other women who probably got the same problem. These were like grandmas, and I'm like young as hell. And y'all know, y'all will say, "Oh, Miss T, you look younger than what you are." Imagine me at 24. I probably look 15, and I'm in there with somebody 70 years old. I went through it mentally. PGH Big Dog is in the building. What's popping, King? I'm gonna get to the story at hand, but sometimes, I do want to put out some things that I'm doing. If it's not enough to do a whole show on Sunday, and plus I don't want to repeat all the time because I broke down everything about the human body, how it function in regards to getting in shape, or just in regards to getting healthy. See, I do not approach getting in shape because that's what people mostly want. They want to get in shape. A lot of my clients, and I do have clients, they want to lose weight. They want to get in shape. However, I don't approach it like that. I approach it a little differently because just for me to live, I had to figure out some things. Like somebody can say, why are you into recipes and mixing food or putting food together to affect some kind of metabolic change? And I said, my answer would be because if I didn't, I would have to rely on what the doctors say. See, I learned the human body and how it functions because I wanted to know it. I took those classes like anatomy, and so when I sit down and talk with my docs, I'm not sitting there and they have to break it down layman's term or simple stupid. You talk to me like you talk to another doctor or nurse, I will keep up. That was one thing I like to do because I don't like. I want you to give it to me in the real sense. I don't want you to give it to me in a baby sense. I want to understand completely backwards, forwards, sideways, up, whatever. PGA said, Buzz still ain't make the fight, but Twitter fighting with Charlos. What the fuck? You need the fight, bud. PGH, I love you. You put that on Bud all day long. You must look. I gotta ask you, what do you feel about leadership? How do you feel about leadership? That must not mean nothing to you, because or you saying that Bud is the leader. Um, so yeah, so basically, I learned about foods because if I didn't, another thing would happen. About 2 years ago, I was taking 15 pills a day to live. 15. And I thought, and in my mind, I was like, this shit is killing me. It's killing me. I don't know if you've ever been sick. I've been in the hospital, and my neighbor came to visit third time. And she never really, I've been in the hospital all the time. So she never really had visited me before. And if she listening, I know she remembered this. She came to visit, and I was like, get me the fuck out of here. Because they rope a dope me into going into the hospital. And when I got in there, it's almost like they wanted to guinea pig me. And I was like, fuck no, I'm not in the military no more. You can't do that no more. So they was pumping me with all kinds of shit. Nigga, I'm telling you, I thought I was gonna die. I bullshit you not to this day. And I know what year it was, 2019. I thought I was going to die. You hear me? This ain't even like maybe I was mistaken. Maybe the medicine they was giving me was making me hallucinate. I don't know. I had a panic attack. The first day I got there, what was supposed to be like a couple of days or 3 days turned into a week. And the first day I was there coming out that procedure because they put you in ICU, and I had a panic attack, and the lady act like, well, that ain't nothing. So my look, I can't apologize enough to them people out there that have panic attacks. Yo, people, that shit is real. That shit is so real, and it is very traumatizing to people who go through it. So if you know somebody who have anxiety attacks or panic attacks, be kind to them, help them out. Don't laugh at the situation. The shit is real. You can't know until you go through it. Just take people word for it. Shit is real and it's not funny. And you won't be the same. This if you never lived in fear before, this will be the first time you have fear in your life. Honest to God. So I had that. I've only had 3 panic attacks in my whole life because in my mind I'm saying I refuse to have them. And I don't know, maybe what I'm doing is preventing them really well. But in my mind, I'm like, I refuse to have a panic attack again. I can't do that. I can't do that shit. But I had one and I was losing my motherfucking mind. And the nurse who was watching over me in ICU, she didn't give a fuck. She was punching the clock, getting her time in, getting paid for the day so she can go home. And then she was like, I was there for one group of people. Like I was there for cardiology. But somehow or another, because I've had thyroid cancer before, internal medicine act like they own me. So, and then it's in a military hospital. So they still think they got that kind of control. Like when you're active duty, your body belongs to the government. But I'm retired, so I'm like, fuck, miss me with all that shit. No, you don't own me. So internal medicine did like they normally do, try to come in, bulldoze their way in, bully their way in, and then be like, "Oh, she's here, so she gonna do what the fuck we want her to do." I'm not here for you. So they start pumping me with this, giving me shit I never had, like Coumadin. Have y'all ever heard of that drug called Coumadin? Like I said, I'm off the tangent a little bit. I got news and I'm gonna get to it. But sometimes when I got something to share, I just got something to share. And I thank y'all for bearing with me. But y'all ever heard of a drug called Coumadin? Let me tell you. They give that for people with blood thinning problems or something to thin your blood. I don't know. But the exact reason is either to thin your blood or for people who can't their blood clot too much or something. Anyway, they started giving it to me, right? And then I said, I've never in my life needed this or had this. I clot very well. In fact, that's the one area in my body that does, 1,000%. And they was like, no, we give that to people who had, been put under or some kind of surgery. And I was like, yeah, but I ain't have surgery. I said it was supposed to be a procedure, but when they got down there, they was like, they were wrong about what they was trying to do. Like they measured shit wrong or whatever. So they had put me under, and then they was like, we're gonna let her come back out. So they never even did nothing. They did it halfway. They didn't touch my heart. Put it that way. They didn't touch my heart. So they say. So they were just letting me wake back up, and then once I fully wake, I supposed to leave, right? But as I told you, internal medicine, they act like they own you, right? Because of the issue that I had when I was 24. So they in there, do this. We're gonna do a CAT scan. I'm like, I just did a CAT scan 2 months ago. We want another one, the kind that you gotta take that solution, that nasty ass shit. And I was like, wait a minute. But I tell y'all, man, I never been pumped up with so many drugs, and I was losing control. When I had a panic attack, it prevented me from sleeping. So I was up for like 5 days straight. I could not sleep. Ronald Finkley said, I've heard of Meloxin. I never heard of that one. And Capsule G said, prevent blood clots. Okay. It's a blood thinner. Ronald Finkley says a blood thinner. D Young is in the building. Papa King says, salute Queen. What's the update? I'm gonna get to it, D Young. I'll just, story time sometimes, because I do have a health channel too, and I'm gonna incorporate it through the week because there's not enough information for me to do it on a Sunday. And if it ever is, then I'll do a whole show on a Sunday. If not, I'm just gonna sporadically throw it in some of the stuff that I'm doing. Um, but like during the week, the boxing channel. And I hope y'all bear with me. It's good info. It's good info. So and I tell my story to be transparent, but also it's kind of like a testimony because you might know somebody with the same issue, and any questions that anybody have. I had to learn a lot of shit by myself. Again, I'm one of them. I'm one of them nerds. I am a nerd, and I'm geeky, and I don't like people to talk down or baby talk to me. Talk to me like you will talk to your peers, and I'll keep up. You know what I'm saying? If I can't keep up, I'm gonna stop you and say, "What that mean? What that mean?" Or if I'm gonna write stuff down and look it up, I'm gonna geek it out, right? So Ronald said, Ronald said, I'll be back grocery store shopping. I feel you. I feel you, King. So basically, yeah, so my neighbor, she showed up. I was dead. I felt dead to the world. I hadn't slept. Sleep could have had been a factor in why I felt the way I felt. I won't deny that. But she was shocked. She was like, "What?" I said, "Get me the fuck out of here." So she got me out of there. She didn't walk me or hold my hand. She didn't give me a wheelchair. I mean, dude, I was so messed up. You would think that I had got cut or shot or something. I couldn't barely walk, but I did it. I walked myself downstairs, and my neighbors were very sweet to me, both of them. Um, and one of them came by and said, "You need anything like liquids or whatever?" She brought me some juice and whatever I would have asked her for. But I don't try to burden my neighbors. But she brought me some liquids, and stuff. And my other neighbor, she drove me home, and I barely could get up the steps. It took me it took me like 20 minutes to get to my bedroom from the driveway, and it shouldn't have took that long. It took a minute or two. You know what I'm saying? Um, Not even that. I'm just saying. At 20 minutes, that's how slow I was walking. And I got upstairs, and I worried about my family. I told my family what I was doing. I'm glad they weren't there because they wouldn't have broken me out. Shout out to my neighbor Ashley listening. Um, so I get up in my room. I got a little fridge in my room, so all my liquids was up in there, and I just took my time. I used the bathroom when I had to, and I just kept drinking my water. I'm telling you, it was the water. I was drinking water after water after water. Yeah, and I was using the bathroom, but I always been a water drinker. But I was on it this time. I was drinking a lot of water, and when I did eat, I ate fruits, and I didn't have the strength to even make my recipe with the vegetables, but I was eating fruit and eating simple stuff. And another thing too, you got your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system. I forgot which one, but whenever you in pain or you hurt, you notice how you're not hungry. Your body is made, designed like that. Some of you guys, I know you saying, I already know this, Miss T, but some people listening don't know, so I'm talking to them. But and if you didn't know and or you knew before but you forgot about it, just a friendly reminder. But yeah, so I was in pain, so and I was sick, so I wasn't hungry. And I was just, but I had to drink liquids. So I was kind of like inadvertently putting myself on a liquid diet. But I did eat fruit. And I'm gonna tell you, every day it took it took over 6 months. I would say probably about a year before I was one day I just got up and won't even think about it. I went to the bathroom real quick, went downstairs real quick. I mean, just was walking normal because I was even walking funny, like putting one foot in front of the other, dragging the other foot to meet it, then putting another foot. I wasn't your normal stride or anything. And I got better. My head cleared up. All of that medicine had dissipated out my body. Um, I felt like a human being again. And they cursed they cursed me the fuck out. But I'm talking about the internal medicine. They were so mad at me. The man told me to my face, "I'm gonna die." Said, "You gonna die." I mean, and I'm saying it nicely, but it made me think of them horror stories, like Poltergeist when the dude say, "You gonna die," shit like that. That's how they was talking to me. And then they was like, "Would you take this medicine?" I said, "If it's my regular medicine," I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." And they was like, "I'm not giving it to you." I mean, they caught an attitude, shorty. I have never been involved in some shit like this, and I don't know what the attitude was, but maybe they thought because I was retired military, they had some kind of upper hand, but they didn't get the memo. Once you retire, nigga, you don't own me, and I be damned. You know what I'm saying? I got rights. So they was all upset. They hated me. They wrote bad things in my medical record. I'm telling you, the first time I saw my PCM, which was like a year later, and she came in the office and she was laughing, and she said, "Well, you're not dead." I bullshit you not. These people was telling me that shit. So even before that incident, that was a little story. But even before that incident, I had always been researching pills. I mean, food, because for me, every time I take pills, I have side effects. I don't know about you guys. You guys might experience that too. But if you're a considerable age, you probably own some pills. Let me tell you a secret. They use different types of sugars that your body can't even digest as a filler to make a pill. You know what I'm saying? Active activist, this is my partner in crime on the health stuff. What's good with you? What's good with you, King? He said, "What up?" I'm giving one of my stories, active activists, on the health situation and these pills and stuff and the things I had to do to get myself somewhat okay. Um and active activist, I mean, he can tell you more. I'm gonna drop the link for him. Um because he could tell you more if he wanted to chime in. Um but yeah, so I'm telling you guys, once I got better and Ashley broke me out the hospital and I started being able to walk a little differently, I go through my bouts of gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, or just eating healthy. I can tell you for sure that, and he can back me up. When I tell you I go geek on anything that I want to learn, I ain't fucking playing with you. Like, I damn near be feeling like I could be a doctor. But I am so into learning food. Like, I take that monologue of that food be thy medicine. I take that to heart because I definitely believe everything that we need to put in our body, God already provided on this earth. So when you killing the Amazon, or when you killing trees, and when you kill, just destroying the planet, you really could be killing off cures to something that hadn't happened to us yet, or something that we needed. You know, Everything is there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So when I tell y'all 2 years ago, I was taking about 15 pills a day just to live, and active actors, you can back me up. I was. I'm down to 6. You know why? Because I let food be my medicine. I let food be my medicine. He said the cellulose being one of them. And Thomas Jones is in the building. What's poppin', King? He says, "Salute, Queen," and chat, first time on your live. Thank you for coming in, Thomas Jones. We doing we doing a little different. I do got a buzz story, y'all. I do got some boxing news, but sometimes, Miss T Thomas, sometimes I like to break off into a story and talk about things that's relevant, because it might be relevant to you guys who's listening. A lot of stuff that happened to me, I consider it like a testimony, and a lot of things I had to learn after the fact. And I don't like that, because I prefer to learn shit beforehand, but it never work out like that for me. So when I do a dumpster dive on some information, you guys, I want y'all to know I geeks it out. I geeks it out. So Thomas Jones, I hope you enjoyed. some of this podcast. It's just like me telling a little story when it comes to health. As I said, Thomas earlier, I do got a health channel, but I don't like to repeat. And unless I got enough information, then I would do a show on my Sunday shows. But when I don't have a lot of information to do a whole show, what I'm gonna start doing is just incorporating some of these stories in my boxing channel throughout the week. It's just to break up the monotony or whatever. You know, you talk about boxing, then we talk about the health stuff. Activist said, "I'm in the truck. It may be kind of loud. I thought you had them good earphones." The activist, but it's cool if it's loud. Then we'll work with that when we get to it. But anyway, y'all. So all I'm saying, all of this stuff to say, is that I investigate or just research thoroughly different foods. And I know that sometimes when you put certain foods together, you can have like a chemical reaction or some kind of metabolic reaction that's either favorable or not favorable. And I look at foods to address certain issues. Because one day, years and years ago, this is even before that incident I'm talking about, I had to break out the hospital. Years and years ago, it dawned on me. I don't know why I got it late, but it had dawned on me. I was like, well, damn. Because again, I'm being pumped with all this medicine and it's having side effects. And I said, you know what? If they can make a pill, how did mankind be that clever? How did mankind sit there and say, you know what? I'm gonna make a pill that thins blood because it's clotting. Or I'm gonna make a pill that brings your blood pressure. Or I'm gonna make a pill that does XYZ. What's up, activists? So you gotta unmute. But I'm gonna make a pill that does this, that, and the other. And then I was like, well, how do they know? How do they be so clever to come up with a pill that do XYZ? How did they know that? I don't know why you dropped out, sir. But how did they know that? How did they figure out? Unless they saw it before. How does the human mind be that clever? Unless you know how the human body works and functions, how can you come up with medicine that does XYZ if you haven't seen it done before? And then it dawned on me. I said, yeah. They seen it done before because they know that when you eat certain foods, it evokes certain reactions and certain responses in your body. So I could tell you the one I always use as a simple example. You know that the exercise and weight loss industries in this country and all over the world making a killing when it comes to that. Because everybody wants the shortcut. Everybody wants the quick and easy way, right? And if it's something that like you just get a shot or you get a pill, but the problem is I don't know why they had to make the pills the way they did, because those pills were threatening to fuck people's hearts up in the long run. They could bust your heart. You couldn't do or take certain things when you taking those meds. So I'm like, okay, what made them come up with that pill? Like, remember back in the day that fen fucking people up. Some people could take it, most people couldn't. And even if it's not fucking you up at the current time, like real time, at that moment, over time, it was going to fuck you up or degrade you in some kind of way. So, activists say, my phone tripping, it killed going to TBE phone and my headset. Okay. So I'm gonna try to shorten it up because I know y'all probably like, I ain't come here for that. But what I'm trying to tell you guys, that food is thy medicine, and that's something that I have inadvertently pumped myself into. Trying to get myself to so I don't have to take 15 pills a day. because every pill I take has a side effect, and it's not a favorable one for me anyway. It was fucking with my socialization. As far as like I told you, most humans don't care about issues that they got health wise until it fucks with them socially. So when I say fucking with my socialization, that's what I mean. I'm taking a pill that make me sleep 20 hours a day. That ain't good for a young person. Your life gonna pass you by. You need all them 24 hours during that day. Whether some of it is due to sleeping, but 20 hours sleeping, but they'll give you that shit, just as quick as hell. But you don't want to take no pills that is gonna fix the problem that you have, but then you're kind of hallucinating or your mind getting the best of you. Some for me, them opioid type pills be getting to me like that. But sometimes I need pain medicine. What do I do? You understand? So I try to investigate food to find out, okay, what can it do? And I don't go there like, oh, I got this issue. Let me research them because I don't know what food from food to food what it does until I know. So what I do is I take a item and I research the hell out of it and I find out what its properties are and what does it do and what do they go best with and all this stuff. And then I be like, okay. And then after a while, here I am making recipes. And that's what I do. That's what those are clients that I have. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I do not replace one. I do not play one on TV. And to my clients, they know me because they talk to me, they email me. They know that I don't even try to tell you to negate whatever your doctor's doing. But if you have an issue, and you want to change that issue, then if you don't mind, you can try me out. I do charge because I make the plan specifically for you. And basically it's a diet plan. You can call it a diet plan, but I'm just gonna say an eating plan, you know. And I approach things differently. So like if you came to me and you say, God, I'm 50 pounds overweight and I can't get it off and I just need to drop the weight. I can't do I'm so tired because of the weight, da da da. And everything you kept saying to me is about weight, weight, weight. And then I'm like in my head, I'm like, there's a problem. You're not overweight because like I won't allow myself to believe that people just gluttony for punishment. Although that can be the case. As I told you, I don't talk in absolutes. But I have never, and to this day, I've never met somebody that overeats so bad that they're so obese, like they're just really like on a deathbed obese or something. Like that show out there, My 600 Pound Life, or people who are 400 pounds or 300 pounds. I've never met nobody to eat their way to that because what always be the issue is something else. And I be like, well, medically, what's wrong with you? So I start asking questions, and it's private information. So that's why I do have clients. I don't share with you guys anything in particular, and I talk in general sense because privacy is everything to me, and I respect everybody's privacy. So unless they want to come out and say, what we did together, and some of them be in in my channel, but if they want to say it, then they'll say it. Until then, I don't divulge anything, with them. I work with people too outside of my channel. But anyway, so there, a lot of the females I work with, they come at me for the weight thing. But I be like, no, you have another issue. What's your medical issue? And then once they tell me, I be like, I know exactly how to fashion your recipes for the month. I got you. And I go and I break it down breakfast, lunch. I write out that breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a whole month. That's why it's a charge. That's why people, I do charge for my services because I actually cater it to you. And I tell them, I give them a packet. And I say, this is what you can expect the first week. This is what you can expect the second week, and this, that, and the other. So then, and then I tell them after we do it for a month, phase 2 and phase 3, and I'll be damn. I'll be damn. Everything that we tried to do, I'm kind of happy because I got some info, but I can't really get into nobody's personal thing. But I'm gonna tell you, I've helped people with dialysis who's on dialysis get off dialysis. I'm currently helping people with that type 2 diabetes, and they will be off. They will no longer be type 2 diabetic when I'm done, and it ain't gonna take me long. Um, and people can feel how they feel, but I'm already helping some diabetics, and they going back to their doctor with better numbers. Let me give you a number. I'm not diabetic, but I'm insulin resistance, which for those of you who have been told you're insulin resistance, I now know that that's another way of saying diabetic, but it's not diabetic in the way the doctors see it, but you're pretty much diabetic. So I'm not diabetic technically. I wasn't diagnosed, but I've been told I was insulin resistant all my life, like most of my life, and only now to find out what that actually means. But yeah, so a lot of people who got diabetes, they don't like taking insulin shots, and they don't like taking metformin because metformin does a number on some folks out here. And so I'm working with a couple of people. I'm actually working with 2 people right now who have been diagnosed with diabetes, and they're taking insulin and metformin, right? And one of them was telling me about numbers. And see, this to me is talking in general, not telling you who this person is. This person actually said when they're done, they're gonna come and do a testimony. But um their numbers was in the threes. Yeah. Some people who got diabetes out there or know other folks with diabetes, that's not good. And they said, I can't get out of the threes to save my life. 1 week, and they ain't even hardcore did, you know, my plan. You know, they didn't even hardcore do it because there's a couple of things you got to buy to do this. So it just took them a while. It's not nothing way, way expensive, but a couple of things you got to buy to do it. And so they didn't have that gear, so they did it the old fashioned way, And their numbers are under 150 now. After a week. A week. Tay said, "Welcome to the building, Tay. Welcome, King." He said, "Bud signed a contract, take the 95-5 split." Hey, I told you, dude. You in here with a lot of old folks, Tay. Older people. That I'm like, stop playing. Why am I not a mod? I don't know. I don't have that capability. Y'all gotta help me get my subscribers up. Maybe when I get over 1,000 subscribers, then I can do extra little curricular shit. What's up, Shelton?
Girl, how you doing?
I'm just spitting some game. I'm gonna get to the boxing thing in a minute.
Oh, Spencer Gang, because I got something to tell you. Girl, this shit is crazy.
Okay. Hold on. Let me wrap it up there. Look. So, that's important to me. I'm happy that I can help people who got type 2 diabetes. I've already proven I can get people off dialysis. I can do other things that a lot of men do hit me up to have help with, and y'all can use your own imagination, and I'm betting 1,000 on that one. So yeah, but I do research foods, and I did it to get myself off of pills because I hated the side effects. So I'm gonna give you an example. If I was a person that said I have a big ass appetite and I want to just lose my appetite, you know what I'm gonna tell you to eat? I'm gonna tell you to eat grapes. I'm gonna tell you to have a little bowl, not a big bowl, and buy them big fat ass grapes too. And it don't matter if they seedless or seeded. I would tell you to have a bowl in the refrigerator on standby of some grapes. You can freeze your grapes and eat it like that as a frozen treat, or you could just put a couple in a bowl. Because by the time if you eat them one at a time and they real big, by the time you get to the sixth grape, you're full. Your appetite is gone. Grapes are an appetite suppressant, believe it or not. So that's a free nugget, and I had to learn that. I should research that when I was just researching grapes. But it's an appetite suppressant. If you eat it, you will lose your appetite. So that is pretty much what I'm doing. If you guys need help or know people who need help, you can hit me up in my email. And as I said, I cater to you specifically, but I try to find what health problem you got, not being too nosy, and then I can better put your recipe together. Because if it's an inflammation problem, if it's an absorption problem, if it's a whatever, and I can tell when you tell me you got this or you got that. Like I can tell you, people with diabetes who are acidic as hell, who really are. So I will approach your recipe putting together from an acidic point of view, and then voila, won't be diabetic no more. Because type 2 is something that we all can get and we all can get rid of anytime our minds is set to do so. But anywho, that's all I wanted to say about the health stuff. I went on a tangent, but it was on my heart, on my mind. Some of y'all needed to hear that. But Shelton, welcome to the panel. What you got for me, King?
I heard this dude, girl. I just heard this dude tell his audience. I ain't gonna say his name because it's not important. This dude is trying to tell the people that's listening to him that Terrence Bud Crawford, Duck Lamont Peterson.
Duck Lamont Peterson.
I ain't lying.
Should I go on a guessing game?
Come on. I mean, goddamn, are you reaching or what?
Did that name start with an F?
No, it wasn't him.
Okay.
There's another one like him though. One of his compadres.
Oh shit! One of his compadres.
Yeah,
I he was on the island by himself.
Oh yeah, they kicked him out. I forgot. My bad. They kicked him out. My bad.
Yeah. Is the name start with a B?
Oh yes.
Is it like an acronym type name?
Yes, acronym type name.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like, man, are you? I just couldn't believe it. I just really couldn't believe. I mean, cause look, hey, you know I'm a Bud fan, so I tend to reach every now and then, right?
Yeah.
But goddamn,
can I guess? Can I guess?
Hey, we ain't saying no names. You gotta wait to Shelton.
His name. Hold up. I'm sorry.
Hold up my ass, Tay.
No. I'm talking to someone else. I'm talking to my sister.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying. Yeah. Like, Tay, boy, you got that.
Yeah. Hey, I tend to reach. T, baby, I tend to reach, but goddamn, I don't reach out the window like that.
And that's out of control. I've been seeing some of the narratives that have been going. Tay probably put it in private chat.
Is that who it is?
Yeah. I think that's who he's talking about. You can look in the private chat.
He's being facts. Bud should take the 95% split. You should probably take.
Shelton got the flow. Go ahead,
Shelton.
You got it. Yeah. That's definitely right on point. It's just crazy to me how. I mean, it's not crazy that you would say that because, hey, what's crazier is you got people who actually believe it. That's what's crazy. You're going to have people who actually believe that shit. And somebody probably going to say that shit to me later today.
Look, I want to show y'all something. Because as my thumbnail, I know I was late talking about my health shit.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm going to show y'all this. And y'all can talk about it on the other side. This is the update that I have for y'all. Some of y'all probably already seen it. Probably like, let's see, I already saw that shit.
Yeah, I saw this already. I saw this already.
You saw this already? For those of you who might not have saw, I'm showing it again. But if you can't take it from the horse's mouth, who do you take it from? And here it go.
Any update on the fight everybody want to see? Ain't no updates yet, man. We still trying to figure things out. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can get this thing done and, you know, we get it done soon.
There you have it. Now, for me, all that amounts to is There is no contract. They may even be talking on the phone. They may even be emailing each other. And there may even be a term sheet. That's as far as I'll go with that. But if you can't take it from Terrence Crawford's mouth, who do you take it from? So based you've seen it already, Shelter. And then we're gonna go to Tay. What do you think? That Bud is pretty much what have you learned from that little short take right there of Bud saying, and that was at the Hall of Fame this weekend.
Yeah. That was this weekend. Yeah, I really didn't learn anything I didn't already know because I understand, I don't understand the boxing game, but I know how business works, right? Because I'm a contractor. So this is how I do business, right? You call me and you say, I want you to do X, Y, and Z on my house, right?
Right.
So I come over there, I look at it, I lay it out, I look at the area, see what you need done, and I give you a material price, a manpower price, and a time frame, right? Then I go home, I crunch the numbers, and I give you what's called a term sheet. This is what I can do, what you need me to do for. This is how much it'll cost you. You look at the term sheet, you send it back to me, say, well, I can't afford that, but I can give you this. I look at that. I say, well, no, I can't do it for that, but I could do it for this. You see where I'm going with this, Ms. T?
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's how it works. And that's what the phase they're in right now. But this is what we offer. No, I can't do it for that. This is what I want. Well, no, we can't do it for that. We can give you this. They negotiate.
Mike Jones, welcome to the building. Mike Jones. He said, Bud, 70 to 30 if you're great. He said it so much. He meant it so bad. He said it twice. I feel you, Shelton.
That is facts right there.
Go ahead, Tay. Now let's Tay.
Go ahead.
That's facts. If Bud wants to be great, he should get paid.
Go ahead, Tay. Let's play your game.
Okay. That's what I'm gonna say. If Bud wants to be great, he should take 95% split, man. He should do the Devin Haney, get paid nothing. You know what I'm saying? People, because honestly, Devin Haney accomplished more than Bud.
Okay, you hang up on this person.
But nah, that's how they talk. That's exactly how they talk. But this is my opinion. This is my opinion. Man, Errol Spence don't want that fight. That fight is not happening, bro. Errol Spence is a ducker. You know what I'm saying? He ducking because Al Heyman knows what's going to happen. Al Heyman knows Terrence Crawford going to whoop on Errol Spence. And it's going to be the end of one-eyed Errol. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the end of him. So
that's what I got. I try to tell Tay. I be like, Tay, these are my old folks up there. You too much. But Tay is younger, y'all. I ain't mad at you, Tay. You give some comic relief. I be like, Tay, stop playing. But Tay, because Tay, whatever you be doing, some of these people believe your ass, though. They be believing you. I be like, Tay,
he said take the 70-30 split.
Tay just playing, though, right? You playing, right?
Yeah, I'm playing. 70-30 is ridiculous. Didn't they give Ugas 50-50? Like they just be saying shit, bro. They just be like, bro.
I heard today that John Porter didn't get 50%. That's a lie. He got 50%.
Yeah, they make it up as they go along, y'all. They make that shit up as they go along.
Just like Errol Spence and his plan, that's all made up. First it was get a belt, then it was easy route, then it was we'll see.
But my thing is, when they saying like they really feeling it must be a lot of pushback. I guess the thrill is gone. That's all I'm gonna say. But when it comes to Errol Spence, because he had the wool pulled over a lot of people's eyes, and I don't know how I feel about it. Like, am I mad about that or was he supposed to do that? I just know that the level at which this controversy is today, in my head, I lay it at Errol Spence and his team's feet or his fans' feet because I've never seen people behave like that. Like I always say, the first time, like I go all the way back to when Earl did that interview with the blue sweater on, and he was just putting down Terrence Crawford, putting him down. You remember that, Tay Shelton? He was just putting him down, putting down his resume, talking about how he ain't did nothing and all this stuff. And I was like, in my head, I had to stop and think, and I said, whoa, did I miss something? Did Terrence come out and say something bad about him or do something bad? I had to think about that, and then my answer was no. And then some people to say, I don't hate Bud Crawford. Yes, you do. Yes, you motherfucking do. You do hate Bud Crawford. And you know why I know you hate Bud Crawford? Because you call him everything but a child of God. You call him out his name, which has nothing to do with boxing. You know, you besmirch his character. You assassinate his character. So you got to ask yourself why you do that. To anybody who think that they don't have hatred for Bud, you know, they just hedging their bets, in my opinion.
Now, see, I've learned something too. I've learned that most, I'm not going to say all, right? But most of Errol Spence fans, they just started watching boxing about 2009 and 10. So they really don't understand the sport. You know what I'm saying? They see Errol beating up on these average guys like a Danny Garcia and Sean Foreman and Mikey Garcia. You know, them dudes was, you know what I'm saying, Miss T. Them dudes are good fighters. They okay. But these dudes ain't no world beaters. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. You're right.
They ain't no world beaters. But he destroyed them guys, and they think he's the second coming of Sugar Ray Duran Hagler.
Sugar Ray and who? Duran?
That's what they think this guy is. They think his name is Sugar Ray Duran Hagler. That's what they think he is.
Yeah,
and he is not that.
Like, what do y'all think about what we was talking about yesterday when I said, I honestly don't think it was a hate Errol fest at the Hall of Fame. Did you watch that tape? Some of the Hall of Fame stuff?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched most of it. Nobody was really hating on Spence. They just said they picked Bud. You know, now if you want to call James Toney saying Spence be lucky the last 6 rounds hate, then I guess you can. You know.
I guess, I mean, these guys have a unique perspective because they were in it. Like Roy have always said, it's one thing to have Jim Lampley call a fight. It's another thing to have Roy Jones call a fight. Or Paulie, say what we want about Paulie. Paulie was a good commentator as far as I'm concerned. I learned when I
Paulie nobody.
Tay. Damn, man. Tay, you got yourself mute. Hey, what you doing?
Mike, you know what else kills me, T? This is what kills me. I mean, we all boxing fans, right? And I love the sport just for the competition. I can, to be honest with you, I pick who I pick, and I love talking boxing. But I can honestly give a 2 shits who wins because I don't get nothing out of it. I know it's gonna cost me money to watch the niggas fight. You see what I'm saying?
True, but for me, if when Bud and Spence fight, I because normally here lately, Shelton, I've been like calling fights or just watching the fight, having folks watch with me. I sign in online, and we all be just talking to each other watching the fight.
Right.
But when it come to Bud and Spence, I might don't even. My anxiety might be bad because, like, if I like you like that, my anxiety get bad. But like I'm telling you, Deontay, proof is in the pudding. I'm telling y'all, it's Deontay country over here. I'm telling you. And I was at that fight, that third fight, and my anxiety was on bleak. But the time it took, because I was upset and I felt like, he actually won the fight. I felt because he knocked him down. It took old boy 17 seconds to get up, but it didn't work to Deontay's favor. That made me feel bad. Even the British people, I was knee deep around all British people, and they said the same thing. But however long it took me to walk from my seat down to the lobby, like right before you walk out of the T-Mobile Arena, I was okay. I was okay.
Yeah, because look, speaking on that, you got to give it up to Wilder. Because I shit on Wilder for all the excuses he made after the second fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I shit on him because I don't like fighters who make excuses. You know what I'm saying? You won, you win, you lose, you lose. You lose, get better, go to the gym, come back, fight the motherfuckers. Don't cry like a bro. But Wilder, goddamn, showed me he got a heart. I will never question that man's heart. That man stood in there. Wilder's a tough dude.
Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button.
I can say this in real talk, but all sincerity, ain't no hoe in Deontay Wilder. He's a tough dude. He all man. I give it to him.
That's the dude right there.
Yeah, he all man. Because he took that after him. He stood in there. And he gave as good as he got. He gave as good as he got.
True that. Mike Jones say, who Bud beating up? Americans, Mean Machines.
He beating up Spence. That's who he beating up, Mike. He beating up Spence.
Texas dudes. Mike Jones.
Nobody give a fuck about no Texas dude. Nigga, I live in LA. What the fuck I care about Texas for? Nigga, y'all trying to get out here.
look, Mike Jones. Are you the rapper, Mike Jones? Are you the rapper? Are you that guy?
Y'all Texas ass niggas trying to get out here. So, know I ain't tripping on no Texas dude.
Andrew Charles is in the building. The Hall of Fame ceremony got the Spence tears flowing. What's up, Andrew? What's Bobby King? But look, Tay, I ain't mean to hurt your feelings, man. Why you on mute? I just told Tay stop playing with grown folks. But look, Mike Jones, let me say this to you. This statement right here, y'all just hate Texas dudes. Can you clarify that? I put the link in the chat. You are welcome to come in and speak your piece. We're gonna give you.
Yeah, come on, tell us about Texas. What we missing in Texas?
Because I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, and this is from what I see, this is not absolute. This does not apply to every Texan. I got family in Texas. But a lot of Texans are proud of their state, as it should be. I'm proud of my state, Virginia. But I feel like you guys go a little bit overboard. Now, y'all might say this is normal behavior. But to the other 49 states, it's a little bit overboard. And if that's y'all way, that's y'all way. Nobody hates Texas dudes. But this notion that Texas is beyond reproach and the creme de la creme and they're the diamonds in the rough and everything perfect about Texas, it kind of sounds like how New Yorkers used to be. I know you remember this, Shelton.
Yes, ma'am.
The military and be like, I'm from New York. I'm from New York.
Yeah.
That shit.
What the fuck does that mean, nigga?
Exactly. I used to be like, man.
Fuck that mean?
You gonna pick up this bale of cotton just like the rest of us. I'm just joking.
Hey, look, this is what I think about all that shit. They say people hate Texas, dude. We hate Texas. For what? Because let me ask you something. You a Texas dude, I'm an LA dude. I live in Compton now, right? What you think them white folks call you when you walk out the room? They call you the same thing they call me. They call you nigga. Texas, New York, Virginia, wherever the fuck you from. They call you the same thing. So nobody hate Texas dudes. We all in the same boat, brother.
Yeah, in Texas.
Nobody moving to Texas, bro.
Yeah, he said ain't nobody moving to California. All y'all moving to Texas, driving up our housing market.
Kenzie, don't go over
really talk. I'm gonna tell you guys, in case nobody tell you.
Ain't nobody lost nothing in Texas. Ain't nobody moved down there.
Because I care about you guys, right? I do. I really do. But you guys talk like you're the center of the universe, and you're not. Everything don't start and sprout out from Texas. You guys talk like you created civilization. You created. I got to arguing one time with a lady that I wasn't even trying to argue. It was 3 people in the smoke that was talking about Texas, and I started laughing because I was like, yeah, Texas. You guys crack me up. I know a Texan when I see it. All you gotta do is talk to him for a little bit. And the guy was even saying it, and he's from Texas. And he said, "Yeah, my whole family like that, but I refuse to be like that." And his girlfriend was chiming in, and her friends was chiming in, and there was this lady in the smoke. This when I was in Vegas, and this lady from Texas. She was born and raised. She had a nice job, but sometimes people can fall off. And I'm gonna say she's homeless or she a bum like today. But bums in Las Vegas ain't like bums on the East Coast in New York. Like they actually look like they they got some help some kind of way or whatever. They don't look that bad. But she was just arguing with me, right? And all I did was laugh at what the guy from Texas said about Texas. And I just said, yeah, I said, I just agreed with him. That's all. I agreed with him. And she went off. She so bad so that the guy and his girlfriend and her friends, they all got up and left. But you know me, I ain't gonna run away from my argument. This girl was talking crazy. She was talking like she invented this, they invented this. If it weren't for Texas, wherever this country be, and
that's VA.
And all that. Like I was like, huh? Like,
hey, Miss C, can I respond to Mike right quick?
Go ahead, sir.
Mike Jones, that Texas pride ain't gonna save him from that ass whooping that's coming.
Facts. And it's delusion, not just like being. You can be prideful where you from, but they take it to another level with delusion. Like, man, Virginia has done more for this country than Texas. So if you keep it in a buck, that's where the founding fathers came from. That's where most of our laws came from Virginia and that whole colony.
And I don't even Virginia like that. And I'm born and raised from Virginia. I love my state. I know what it feels like to love your state. When I come across the borderline, when I be going home to visit family, and I cross the borderline, I see that cardinal and I see "Welcome to Virginia," and my blood just flow right. You hear me? My daughter be laughing at me. I just be feeling good. Like every part of me just be like,
You see Andrew? You see what Andrew said?
Spence fans are just down. Oh God, that is them. That's why they so bitter all the time, because the Cowboys ain't win and Spence ain't gonna win.
Like Joe said, y'all just don't have pride like us. Not our fault. We do got pride. There's pride, Mike Jones. And then there's going overboard. You guys are not the center of the universe. You didn't
see, but see, you talking to the wrong people. You talking to the wrong people, Mike Jones. I ain't never called nobody from Texas dumb or slow. I was in the service with a bunch of cats from Texas. Shed blood in the same mud.
Nobody called you dumb. You say y'all
I shed blood in the same mud with dudes from Texas. So I have respect for every man. Any man, I have respect for any man till he give me a reason not to respect him.
And I'll double down on that. I've never called y'all slow or dumb. Far from it. Active activist, my boy in here. I call my little brother. This dude from Texas, smartest man I know. From Texas. Trust and believe me. It's not that y'all. It's almost egotistical or conceitness. That's what you guys sound like. I'm just keeping it real. You guys sound like if it weren't for y'all, the trend setting that people have, like as far as clothes and shoes, where would we get it from if not Texas? Where would we know politics if it's not for Texas? How could the country be called the United States if it weren't for Texas?
And everybody knows. And everybody knows that all fashion trends come from the East Coast and everybody else. They come from the East Coast. They come from New York.
Facts. East Coast runs the U.S. We've been doing that.
Yeah, and then there's places overseas that transcend in their own respect. You know what I'm saying? Like when you talk about fashion and the whoop around the world, Texas is a state. There's like, where you think Six Flags come from? This is what this lady was telling me. And I was like, Six Flags? I was like, lady, do you know that Mexico still claim your state as a part of their country? It's in their constitution. They know it's a part of the United States. Then y'all go with the Juneteenth. You sure about that?
That's great, because I celebrate Juneteenth in California, so that's great. Thank you for Juneteenth. We appreciate
it. They did. Yeah, originating in Galveston, Texas. Yep. Good for them.
Did you know that Thanksgiving came from the East Coast? What if people would say that?
Yeah, but who cares?
Who cares? We'd be like, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't even alive, so why would I claim? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Pocahontas and all that. They from like the Virginia area and all that. But John Smith and all that.
All our founding fathers are from VA.
And to that, I know I stopped counting, but I know 8 presidents in the beginning were from VA. But to all that, I say, cares. VA is a part of the United States. But you guys don't separate it like that. you celebrating Juneteenth. Clarify what Juneteenth is. What is Juneteenth? Do anybody want to take a stab at it? Because I don't want to be disrespectful on how I say it, but what is Juneteenth? Tate, you young.
To me, Juneteenth is when it's the actual date when slaves were actually free. Basically, during this time, there was a countdown of when slaves would be free from all parts of America. Because late Abe Lincoln already put the note. I'm not like put a notice in. It sounds weird, but Abe Lincoln already declared slaves to be free. However, most slave masters didn't give up their slaves. So until this decree came down on Juneteenth, that is when slaves in the South were like truly free. That's basically what it is.
Sharp young man, right there. Sharp young man.
But in Virginia, we was already practicing it, freedom. Some people got the memo late. Is that fair to say, Tay?
Yeah, it was for the southern states. They didn't. The slave masters wouldn't let niggas get down there.
It just wasn't compliant. Maybe Reconstruction didn't reach Texas at that moment because don't nothing happen in a vacuum of right overnight. You know what I'm saying? Reconstruction made sure they didn't pick it back up and just take it back to slavery. We needed that 10-year of Reconstruction, but it wasn't like it was disseminated out like right on that, right on the drop of a dime. That shit had to be calculated and disseminated in a slow progress. And then, they found ways around it. Okay? So that's what Juneteenth is about. You guys, essentially, in Texas, if you're going to say that Juneteenth is only a Texas thing, it only affected Texas, it only happened with you, you basically celebrating getting the memo late or people not compliant. Is that fair to say, Shelton? Shelton?
Hey, that's cool. I mean, that's what they want to hang their hat on. Hey, I get it. That's fine. You say, we acting like we ain't got roots in the South. All my people from Crawford, Louisiana. So, yeah, we all got roots in the South. But they ain't got nothing to do with me. My family migrated from Crawford, Louisiana in 1934. I wasn't even thought of yet. So, I was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles. Yeah, that's what I know. That's where I'm from.
Yeah. He said, respect y'all roots. Y'all acting like you don't have roots in the South. And I'm born and raised Richmond, Virginia. You know what I'm saying? And as far as I know, my mama was too, and my daddy. I don't know how far I got to go back, but I got, my mom's parents, maybe they came from like Georgia, North Carolina, the Carolinas. We're pretty much East Coast. But again, it doesn't matter what your state contributed. Once slavery was over, each state had to ratify the new amendment, the 13th Amendment. They had to do a lot of ratifications after the war, or they had to rejoin the Union. In other words, they had to rejoin the Union, and that shit just wasn't easy. It was requirements that you had to meet, believe it or not, to rejoin the Union.
Right. See, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know that there was black senators, black congressmen, all that shit. They don't understand that.
Yeah, because right after the war, it was a free fall. They got in where they fit in. Yeah, but again, we go from slavery to black codes to Jim Crow. But you can even say Jim Crow still kind of exists to this day.
It do.
They found a way to get around the loopholes.
There's still some places out here in California that if you black, you don't want to be caught at night.
And definitely, we call that the sundown town.
Yeah.
In the South. Mike Jones said Nat Turner and Mike Vick was the coldest thing to come out of Virginia. A lot of things good came out of Virginia, but see, that's another thing. Out of Virginia. That's another thing that Texas too.
Let's see, didn't Allen Iverson come out of Virginia?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did, and most of the presidents. But see, a lot. See, that's what I mean, Mike Jones, and I don't mean to pick
Miss T. Not to cut you off, Miss T. Somebody else didn't Pernell Whitaker come out of Virginia?
Sweet Pea, sure did. He hitting the boxes up, sure did. And Kunta, all of them was around that area. But look, the thing is, Mike Jones, this is what I mean. This is a prime example. Look at your statement. Nat Turner and Mike Vick was the coldest thing to come out of Virginia. Now, that is not exactly true, but maybe to you, them the two coldest people. I guess you didn't like Sweet Pea. I guess you don't like people like Blair Underwood neither, because he showed from Virginia.
Missy Elliott from Virginia.
Show is Timberland and Pharrell.
I got a call, T. I'll call you back.
All right, Shelton. So we can go on and on and on all day long with this who out of Virginia that the whole country know and love or can be considered iconic or whatever. But I guess I can't knock you for your choices. You said Nat Turner and Mike Vick, but you know that's not exactly true. But Virginia is just one of 50 states. And I'm proud of all the 50 states. I'm proud of America, period. Overall. America got its bad points. You know, they be fucking off and did some fuck shit too. You know, things that I'm less proud of when we think of Americanism. But, you know, we're one of 50 states. And that's what I'm saying, Mike. You guys, what's great about what can somebody make this statement to you right now about Texas? What statement can somebody make? What two people that really make? What if I say only Erykah Badu and Beyonce is, you know, the only coldest thing to come out of Texas? What would you say to that? Because they did come out of Texas, and they are cold as a motherfucker. You know, everybody
people came out of Texas.
Yeah, but if I
Joe Green came out of Texas.
But keep Game Shelter. If I reduce them, how he just reduced Virginia, only two people, Erykah Badu and Beyonce. What would the Texans tell me? Girl, is you crazy? And they'll just start rattling off people that I like. Like these.
Chloe, be quiet. But barking for nothing.
That's what I mean. That y'all Texans, I don't know. I think y'all the center of the universe. Some of you guys, not all of you. Because I met some Texans. I'll tell you like this, Shelter, real talk. When I meet Texan people, I just have my guard up, my eyebrows up. I just be waiting, you know, for the shoe to drop. I don't try to say that they're gonna fall into that groove, but I just be prepared just in case. And then when I see, they regular folks. Because we have a lot of regular folks in Texas. But to a lot of you guys, y'all be on some, I don't know what that is. And it ain't just pride, it goes beyond pride. Like Joe said, but now Earl gonna whoop Bud ass. He might. He said Virginia got freakish athletes, so he like to think we do. But
we got Ella Fitzgerald came from VA, Arthur Ashe, like
yeah.
A bunch of people. Pharrell.
Yeah.
This is what
Booker T. Washington. Who cares, man?
This is what the Arrow fans don't understand, Miss T. That's the reason why we want to see this fight. We want to see this fight because both men could lose.
Mm-hmm.
If we knew who was gonna win, we wouldn't want to see it.
That's every single Canelo fight. That's why Canelo fights are so boring.
Well, not all of them, because that big fight. I knew what was going to happen, but I knew what was going to happen. I told everybody I won $1,600 in this fight.
I should have bet money, man. I was so man.
You gonna do a big bet like that?
I told you this 2 months before that. I said Bevo gonna beat his motherfucking ass. You know I did. I told you on the show.
I knew Beaver was going to win, but I didn't bet then. I should have bet, man. I bet money now.
Beaver gonna beat the shit out of that dude. That dude is too little.
I need to download. You know what I want to download? I want to download MGM's the gambling thing. That because wherever
DraftKings, yeah.
I want to download that to my phone, and then that way, and just practice a little bit on some fights that's coming up. So when Earl and Bud fight,
that's gonna be.
Miss T. Speaking of fights coming up, if you got some extra money. If I was you, because I'm gonna do it, I'll put some money on Joe Smith Jr.
That may be a real big upset. That actually is not a bad pick. What are the odds for Joe Smith?
Yeah, they got that man down 6-1, bro. They got him as a 6-1 underdog. I gotta take that.
Yeah, take that. What you gonna put 50 on?
I'm gonna put 100 on it. 600. If I bet 100, I win 600. 6-1. I gotta take that.
Better Beaver's a monster though, but he do get hit a lot.
And here's the thing: Joe Smith is not that skilled, but Joe Smith can crack, and he's a dog.
Yeah,
and we know
that. I seen that. He is a dog.
Beaver beat. You think it's a style matchup? Beaver had a pretty easy time with Joe Smith.
Beaver is a boxer. Better Viev is not. He's a good boxer, but Better Viev is a tank. He's coming right at you. You ain't got to look to him. He coming.
I heard somebody say they ain't never seen him hurt, and I gotta agree.
Better Beav been dropped before.
Not hurt. I seen his ass on the ground.
Yeah, Better Beav been dropped before.
Yeah.
That Marcus
if Callum Johnson, like, if soft pillow hands, Callum Johnson can put him down. If Joe Smith crack him, he going to sleep.
Please this. That shit Marcus Brown was doing. I was like,
Marcus Brown ain't that good. I try to tell y'all that. I try to tell y'all that Marcus Brown wasn't that good. Y'all just didn't listen to him.
I wasn't paying
I should have listened to you.
I told y'all that dude wasn't that good.
People were hyping him up. They were like, "Oh my God, Marcus Brown's a great boxer."
That dude's not that good. That dude lost to John Pascal. John Pascal was what? Miss T, how old is John Pascal? 55? 56?
He's 39.
He lost to that dude.
He got to be in his 40s by now.
Yeah, he's 40 and 39.
Damn. Mike Jones said Virginia and PG County got talent. PG County, Prince George County, Texas is the reason why America was founded. That's you playing. Tate.
Yeah,
Tate. Y'all that state. Shoot them arrows at Tate. Mike Jones said, chill, Miss T. Laugh a lot. I know Virginia has endless talent, no matter what it is. We just saying that you guys, I don't know if y'all know that y'all come off like that. And it's it kind of give people pause. Y'all might say, I don't care, fuck it. Because I know some of y'all probably feel that way. But it's if you ever dealt with somebody from back in the day that was from New York, and you know who took over, like my first 10 years in the military, you had people that was from New York. They was penalizing that, saying like, I'm from New York. What the fuck that mean? You gonna clean up just like I gotta clean up. You gonna do what the superior said do. It's like I got to. We in the military, right? You being from New York don't mean a hill of beans. I don't give a fuck what that got to do with the price of tea in China right now. Like, because you from New York, I'm supposed to roll out carpet for you. I don't know what that means. But then they must have been listening to folks. Because I swear that shit waned off. And guess who took over in their place? You know I'm about to say it.
I'm from Texas. I'm from Texas.
Nah, not the Texas. I swear I did not peep gang. I met a lot of people from Texas, loving to death. That was when I was in the military. But it was ATL. I'm from ATL. Nigga, shut up. You from Mineral, Georgia. That's where you from. I be like, why do I care that you from ATL? What that mean to me?
I'm from ATL. Nigga, you from Warner Robins.
Exactly.
You ain't from no goddamn ATL. You from Warner Robins, nigga.
You know Nutbush city limits. Super Bros X is in the building. What's Poppy King? He said, save your $100. I don't know. Like, you know what? Stranger things have happened. We done had some upsets in the last year. We done had some upsets. Cause I was like,
yeah, well, we had some upsets. I mean, I didn't think Bivol and Canelo was an upset because I didn't think Canelo had a chance. He's too little. He's too small for that dude.
But a lot of people was like even with the Caleb Plant fight, I kept apologizing. I kept saying, yo, he already coming in with fucking rounds in the books. Matter of fact, the newspaper article or magazine has already been written. It's in a warehouse somewhere in Mexico. And the minute the fight is over, they're going to put them on the trucks and have them out there at the newsstands first thing in the morning.
You remember what I told you? If you remember, we had a conversation about this. and I told you, Miss T, the laws of physics are undefeated. You remember me telling you that?
The laws of physics are what?
Undefeated. The laws of physics don't change. You don't lose. They undefeated.
Yeah.
You got a 5'7" dude going up to 175 pounds. Fight the dude that's 6 feet tall, that's young, that's fresh, that don't know how to lose. He's undefeated. He's been fighting at 175 his whole career. He got over 235 amateur fights. He got 250 amateur fights, 235 wins. Guy been fighting a long time at 175 pounds. And you think you finna throw your little 5'7", short, stubby, happy ass up there and beat this dude? That's not going. If that dude can box a little bit, you in trouble. Because them shots you was hitting Caleb Plant with, that shit ain't gonna bother him.
You know that Joe Smith Jr. has said he ain't interested in no Canelo fight. He said that months ago. He said, man, basically, get the fuck out of here. I'm not even gonna entertain that shit. And I ain't really know much. I'll be honest with y'all. I haven't known much about Joe Smith Jr., but I've gone back and watched some of his shit. That motherfucker is dangerous.
He's a dog.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know what Canelo was thinking.
Or the skill. I don't think.
Look, man.
I don't like, bro.
I'm gonna speak. I know where you're coming from, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you exactly where you're coming from. Miss T, I'm a man. I'm a grown man. I know how I feel. Ain't no little motherfucker finna come up here and whoop me.
No, I agree.
You bring your little ass up here, I'ma fuck your little ass up. Keep your little ass down there with them little boys. Don't come up here.
But Joe Smith could lose to Canelo. Like,
Joe Smith will knock Canelo fucking block off.
He could lose.
He'll knock his whole head off. Joe Smith is not a drunk. He's not a 36-year-old drunk Kovalev who just came out of a war 10 weeks prior with Anthony Yard. He's not that dude. You put Canelo ass in there with Joe Smith will knock his motherfucking head off.
I don't
know. Hold on, Shelton. Tay, why you think that Canelo could beat Joe Smith?
I just feel like the issues that Canelo, I mean, he's an inside fighter. He's going to get that leverage up. I think Canelo's an outstanding inside fighter. And I think he can probably pull up on him a little bit more and get the rounds. You know what I'm saying? Canelo don't got to do much to win a fight. He has to just win like 4 rounds, and he's already won the fight. So
did you see the shots that he hit Bivol with? Them uppercuts and them hooks with the body? Didn't bother him one bit. Walked right through that shit.
I know Kovalev fight was FAF, you know what I'm saying? It was fake. It was fraudulent because Kovalev was like, I've never seen Kovalev react like that to a punch.
I told you, Kovalev was a 36-year-old alcoholic who had just went through an 11-round war with Anthony Yard. Go look at the Anthony Yard Kovalev fight. And that was only 10 weeks before the Canelo fight. He didn't have time to recover. And Canelo hit him with a rehydration clause where he couldn't come in over 15 pounds over the weight.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about all that stuff. Well, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he would lose. So
this guy didn't have no clause. He didn't have no clause because he was fighting for Bivol's belt. So Canelo couldn't impose no weight clause and none of that shit on me. You gonna fight me at 175. And whatever I come in on fight day is what I come in at. I'm gonna weigh in at 174, but I'm about 190 when we fight.
How do you think Canelo comes in a fight?
That's what I was gonna say, Tay, Shelton. I was gonna say Canelo struck me as a person who was big, and I think from the jump he should have. I think in the beginning he should have comported himself to fighting at those big weights like 160 and up. But he was a person who could make 147. So if you can make the weight, you can make the weight. And he made the weight 147 for years, and he knew that he was gonna be big. He was gonna make his. I think what was it, Roy Jones or Tarver? One of them. Somebody had said it at the Hall of Fame. I think it was Roy Jones and ES News. Ellie Setback was talking to Roy and B-Hop, and he was like, "Yo, you know, you can make the weight. You can make the weight." He was like, "But you know, basically, go down there and make a name for yourself, because once your name is solidified, then everything you do is gonna be gravy after that." Y'all think that? What you think about that?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I believe that.
Oh, but I think you're getting. But I mean, that works for certain fighters of certain complexions. Everything they do is just great. With Floyd, it didn't matter what he did; people hated on him.
The hate money is green too. That's how Floyd looked at it.
Yeah, but he still got hate though. You know what I'm saying? They hated him with the
He ain't
passion.
care. You spent,
and they
he
let
said
Jim
that.
Lampley and Larry Merchant be like openly racist on TV,
Yeah.
and nobody cared.
Floyd went through a lot. And Floyd be dropping a lot of nuggets. I still say, I could totally understand his mindset. Like some things that he say or whatever. He say things for a reason. And some of that shit might be true. Some of that shit might be exaggerated. I don't think Floyd straight out just lied to you. I think he lied by omitting things or not saying nothing or putting his spin on something. But I don't think he just blatantly just straight out tell you a lie. But Floyd knew that. Floyd used to say the weight don't matter, it's about the skills. And, he's about the only one in the boxing game that can call certain things. Like if Floyd said, I'm gonna just come towards you. Like how he put out what he was gonna do to McGregor, to Conor McGregor, and he did it.
And
If
he
he
stepped to
said, well, I'm gonna
Canelo.
box you, he'll do it. If he say, I'm gonna put up the high guard defense and wait till you make a mistake. He the only one I can say in boxing that can make calls. Everybody else that try to act like I wanted to show you I can do this. I wanted to show you I can do that. I be just thinking lying like a motherfucker.
That's what Errol Spence said. He lied about he wanted to box. Something about man.
Now, let me ask y'all a question. Both of y'all. Let me ask both of y'all a question real quick. Did either one of y'all think Conor McGregor had a shot?
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
I just know, hell no.
He didn't have a chance.
If you think Conor McGregor had a chance, he must have been smoking crack.
Who said he had a chance? I'm saying hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
Skip Bayless was like, I'm watching the show. He was like, Conor McGregor can knock out Mayweather.
Conor McGregor is a UFC guy.
He's a UFC guy.
Now, I wouldn't want Floyd to fight him in a UFC fight. I think he beat the shit out of him.
Floyd would lose.
Yeah.
But in a boxing match, he has no shot.
That bullshit that Conor was hitting with, Floyd was just letting him get all the shots. It was almost like he was a kid. And people don't
Floyd
see
carried that dude. You see? Floyd carried that dude. He carried him. He could knock that dude out anytime he felt like it.
Yeah, Conor,
Yeah, Floyd carried him. He let him shoot his wide and let him hit. Floyd sold the fight. It ain't many fighters that can do that. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna let him get out. I'm gonna let him squeeze something off on me just to sell a fight. Then I'm gonna come back and beat his ass.
That's what Errol's gonna do to Bud. Errol's gonna knock him out. First round.
You can say what you want about Floyd, but Floyd is very smart.
In the ring, yeah. He's probably the smartest fighter in the ring of all time.
You ever wonder why Floyd told Keith Thurman go beat him and then
I ain't hear shit because my dog want to box.
Yeah, the dogs are really loud.
Why Keith Thurman said what?
Yeah. You ever wonder why Floyd told Keith Thurman go fight him and then I'll fight you?
Errol, why?
Go fight Errol?
Floyd was 40 years old at this time.
Yeah, I know.
Floyd wasn't getting in there with them young dudes.
Yeah, not anymore.
But Floyd understands this for a minute.
He probably
but they threw Earl as a roadblock. That's what Floyd did. A lot of fighters do that shit. They want you to go fight that person.
Floyd ain't getting near them young bucks that's hungry. He did that already. I'm not doing that shit.
He probably still should have fought Keith Thurman. He probably would have beat.
Why would I fight Keith Thurman? Who maybe I can beat, but it's gonna be a tough ass fight.
It would be a.
When I go over here and make $200-300 million.
Time, I mean, because we didn't know if Mayweather finds out mid-fight that Keith is weak, because Floyd is an amazing body puncher. But if he finds out that Keith is this like you know what I'm saying, he's so weak to the body, he'll get up and run. I feel like that would be a different
but that's
story.
But that's in Keith's latter part of his career, Tay.
Because
in the beginning, Keith didn't have no hoes. I remember I was a big Keith Thurman fan. He didn't have no hoes. Keith could take a punch, but can you take his shit? That was one time for real. That name fit him for real. But when Earl came on the scene, it did seem like Keith was falling back, like he was a little scared or hesitant.
It did not seem he was scared.
Yeah, I say seem because if you scared, like how you get over being scared?
What do you mean?
Okay, I'll say this: I have a fear of big ass bugs, water bugs, like roaches.
Okay, let's turn back to clock. Hold on.
Never not be scared of that shit.
Hold on, let's see. Let's turn back the clock for my youngster right here. Let's turn back the clock. When Thurman was calling out Mayweather, right? And you had Garcia and Porter and all these other guys in the division that he could fight. Who was the bigger name? Those guys or Errol Spence?
Those guys.
So why would I fight a young, tough, hungry dude who nobody knows, and I ain't gonna draw no money, while I can fight these two dudes that most people know that's gonna make bigger money?
But then Errol, after that Errol came off the Kell Brook win, and then he had
that was one win. Errol was not the guy yet. Errol was still a guy on the come up. He beat Kell Brook. Now, be honest. Think back to 2015, 16. Think back to 2015, 16. Who in the fuck knew Kell Brook?
Nobody really. Well,
nobody.
I knew of Kell. He fell out. He gonna come out. I knew Kell
Brook. You knew of Kell Brook because you were a boxing fan.
But nobody knew Kell Brook. When he fought Sean Porter. That's when I got wind of. I got wind of Kell Brook when he fought Sean Porter, and I was hot.
But before that, you had no idea who that man was.
I ain't never heard of him. Never heard of him. And nothing against him. I mean, he did most of his fights. They even
in England. In England.
Kelly. Like, they did most of that shit overseas. Khan was about smart because he brought himself over here to America and mixed it up.
And made a name for himself.
Made a name and the man money. He made
exactly
like $7 million when he fought Bud.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing I said when they was talking about the Mayweather Keith Thurman fight. Why would I fight Keith Thurman? Who I'm 40 years old, number one. Number two, I probably can beat him, but it's gonna be a tough fight because he's young and he's hungry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why would I fight him for 25, 30 million when I can go pull this white boy up out the UFC and fight him for 300 million?
At that
what makes more sense?
Career, I mean, that made how he did it made more sense. And at that point in his career, he was already planting his flag for God and country. So what else did he have to prove? You know what I'm saying? He young is in a building. What you got on the King? The floor is yours, King. D Young.
Yo,
D Young, what's up, boy?
What's good with it?
You kind of rough, bro. Kind of rough.
Okay, hold on. What about now? Y'all can hear me good?
Yeah, we got you good. We got you good.
All right. Hey, how y'all doing, man? I hear y'all chopping it up.
Oh yeah, we chopping it. We chopping it.
Yeah.
See, I missed the news, Miss T. I was driving through a mountain range. What was the update?
The update from Terrence Crawford's mouth, and I'm quoting because I wrote it down. Ain't no updates yet. We're still trying to figure things out. Hopefully, we can get this thing done and get it done soon. That was from the horse's mouth, and no pun intended, but like that was from Terrence Crawford's own mouth. So, and that was as of yesterday. So, do we take that and say, well, maybe they talking on the phone or some other kind of media like email and stuff, or maybe the term sheet has arrived, has made it to Bud. That's the furthest time I'm gonna go with that. Maybe the term sheet got there. Maybe they just on the phone with each other. You know.
And so that with that being said, Miss T, ain't no contract been sent.
Ain't no contract been sent. Nope.
They're dealing with term sheets right now.
I'm finna go back to the mountain range.
Yeah, okay. I got you, King.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to make sure that's clear. Because I told y'all, unless Bud said, I'm sorry for my thing and my neighbor and my daughter talking. As far as I'm concerned, unless it come out of Earl Spence' mouth, maybe Derek James, but Derek James is a liar. He's a liar. I'm sorry, I feel that way about him. But unless it come out of Spence' mouth or his team meaning PBC, or maybe even his father, who hardly ever say anything. So if his father ever said something, I'm definitely gonna be like listening, because I'm like, he don't never say nothing. Or if it comes out of Bud's mouth, Bo Mac, or one of Bud's other trainers who never say nothing, or Bernie the boxer. Them the only
Well,
people.
you know, these dudes, they gonna make up all kind of stuff. I mean, we know what time it is. They still dealing with term sheets. This is a big fight. This is the biggest fight right now in American boxing, and these dudes need to be compensated as such.
That's it. And y'all heard it from Terrence. I showed y'all the video. But my boy at PGH, Big Dog, he gonna say Bud holding up the fight. He always say that. Yeah. Hold on. How you say it? To say his words exactly. Because he always said that. And I see you out there at PGH, you say the same thing. He said, Bud still ain't make the fight. The Twitter fighting with the Charlos. He need the fight, but he always said, Bud holding up the fight. And that's just not true. You can't hold up something if you don't got it. Like, to me, everybody wants to say that Earl is the big fish. And here you got a YouTube content creator that's telling you and me saying, Earl, okay, Earl's the big fish. He's the A side. I agree with that. He's the top dog. I agree with that. Because I know in my heart of hearts, well, I just feel based on what I see them do as fighters, he ain't gonna be that long before Bud take them belts up off him. I just feel that, right? But it's possible that Earl Spence could win that fight too.
Yes, he is.
If he is the A side, if he's the big fish, if he's the leader, then why in the fuck don't he do the things that leaders do? So when somebody say Bud is doing something, no, Earl, Bud send the contract. How Bud gonna send the contract? You got people capitulate. Earl's the big fish. It's for Earl to send the contract. He's gonna get to call the shots.
I have told y'all. So I'm gonna say it one more time, real slow, so they can hear it. Errol Spence does whatever Al Haymon tells him to do.
Okay.
That's what he does. Errol don't run shit but his mouth.
That's it. And he instigates.
Errol don't write no contracts. He don't make no deals. Because if he did, if he was the big fish and all this and that, how come these motherfuckers? Let me ask you this, Miss T, and this is a serious question. How come these motherfuckers got $40 million for Canelo, but they ain't got $20 million to split between two of them?
You know what? An intelligent mind can't really explain that, because there's some fugazi shit right there. You got some money for Canelo like that, but you ain't even got, according to Tim Smith, what Bud is used to getting, which was about approximately $4 million a fight. Right. You ain't even got that, but you got $50 and $40 million to get a Canelo. Y'all full of shit. Is what I see.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna give you my synopsis. Big T. Here it goes. Mm-hmm. I know the brothers gonna hate me for this. They always do, but I don't care. The PBC got one more bullet in that rusty ass 38 they got. It's Errol Spence.
The revolver 38. The revolver at that.
You know that rusty ass 38 used to keep under the car tire?
You talking about the revolver?
Yeah.
The 38.
They got one more bullet in that rusty ass 38 they got under the car tire. And it's Errol Spence. So while the bullet is gone, that bullet got shot. They lost on that.
The gun that shot JJ.
Yep. Caleb Plant got his ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
Charlos don't sell. Even though Jermel is a dog. He's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
But the Charlos don't sell.
Oh, you know I wanted to talk about that.
Sean Porter retired.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Thurman don't know what the fuck he want to do. Danny Garcia ain't shit. You don't have Boots because he signed to Showtime. So your last big dog is Earl Smith. They're going to prolong this and prolong this. Because I'm not saying it's going to be no wash, but goddamn it, what if Earl Smith lose this team? What is the PBC going to do? Who they got if he lose?
They're going to start relying heavily back on people like Adrian Broner and Keith Thurman. That's what they're going to do.
And he just was like to death with Mario Barrios, who Tank knocked out. Adrian Broner can't stay sober enough to win a fight.
Yeah, you know what? It's like, I don't like to see nobody down. Speaking of Adrian Broner, I don't like to see nobody down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do be feeling like, and I just believe this in life in general, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Because Adrian, right. I'm kicking the ballistic. I'm not talking about Adrian Brad. I'm an Adrian Broner fan. And every time he fight, I want him to win. But Adrian lived his life, his short life, because he's still young. He's young to me, you know. But he lived his life, and in the beginning, he didn't care about nobody's feelings. He didn't. He didn't care to me. I mean, and people say he's a good guy and he's nice, he's fan friendly, and he might be. But Adrian also, we have seen him, let me just say, make people feel a certain way. That's the only way I can explain it. Adrian didn't care about nobody's feelings. He didn't care who he hurt, what he said, who he embarrassed. One thing about Adrian, he's that guy in your group that you be like, you don't know what the fuck he gonna say out of his mouth.
Right.
Like you can't tell him shit about you. Because the whole
I had an old man, Miss T, tell me one time, be careful who toes you step on the way up.
Yep.
Because there's gonna be the same asses you have to kiss on the way down.
And those people gonna be laughing on the way down. So all those people that AB hurt and denigrated and, you know, just, they probably laughing. And people can't understand why they laughing. And I'm just saying, you know, all in all, like I like to look at things and say, you know, let's take the lesson in that. Because that's definitely a lesson of what's going on with him that we all can take. But you just
exactly.
Said, the man told you. Your way up. So you're gonna see a lot of folks.
Oh, shit, excuse me.
Those same people you're gonna see on the way down. So be careful how you support yourself. You know, but some people, y'all go back and remember AB when he was young. Did you tell AB anything?
Did you say this thing? The asses you kicked on the way up, the same asses you have to kiss on the way down.
Exactly. And then if you think about AB back then, did anybody tell him anything that's older? You know, because a lot of young people cannot stand and listen to older people. They better get that shit out their head because the advice that older people can give you might save your life. It might help you one day.
Even hating ass Floyd tried to give him some advice. You know, Floyd a hater for real.
Yeah, he a hater.
Hating ass Floyd tried to give him some game. He wanted to Floyd. He said Floyd was hating on him.
Hold tight, y'all. 1 second. Oh yeah, my bad.
That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah. AB he couldn't. He couldn't be bothered. You couldn't tell him, baby, that's not nice. Don't be like that. Remember when he burnt that money?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Floyd too. We ain't gonna leave Floyd out. A lot of people. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's not that we give boxers a pass, but you gotta understand some of the greatest men, and I'm saying men, but this for women too. Some of the greatest people historically that you ever read about, like Alexander the Great, Charlemagne the Great, these great people, they were some crazy motherfuckers. They did over the top shit. They egotistical, conceited, this, that, and the other. It comes with the territory. You cannot be the president of the United States and not be an egotistical son of a bitch. You cannot.
You can't. Most successful people got an ego. And you can't be successful without one.
You cannot be no kind of politician if you don't sideswipe lies with the greatest of ease. You know, and then boxing, like Floyd said,
and this is the thing. This is the thing that irritates me sometimes, Miss T. Mm-hmm. We talk all this shit. We love, because I'm an Ali fanboy. I love Muhammad Ali. Right? My guy. That's the greatest of all time, correct?
True that.
Who had a bigger ego than him?
Exactly. Muhammad Ali did some questionable things when he was talking about Joe Frazier and shit. To this day, I don't like it. I'm with Destiny on this one. I do not like it. That shit.
Yeah, he said some evil, fucked up shit to Joe. Exactly. You're absolutely right.
Had his kids fucked up at school over that shit. And when he found out that his son had a hard time behind that shit, I guess
he apologized to Joe. He apologized to Joe. Yeah. He apologized to Joe.
Joe never forgave him. That's how hard
Joe held on to that shit.
Joe couldn't get over it.
Yeah.
But that's somebody was talking about on the show yesterday, Elton. They was talking about how some of the channels use the word monkey all the time. I was like, well, that's their choice. But I would say, when I'm just throwing my 2 cents in, I was just saying that I personally be leery of giving the enemy or whoever the enemy could be a tool in which to practice on me too. Like something like, and I know that went over some people head, like, I'm not gonna call you a monkey because I'm not gonna like it when the enemy call you a monkey.
But see, that's the problem I got with that. Mm-hmm. You'll sit behind your computer, and I don't give a damn if you're showing your face. That don't mean shit. And call people monkeys. But goddamn well, if I was in your face, you wouldn't talk to me like that.
Could be.
Goddamn well you wouldn't. And I got receipts. When the niggas that was the LGBTC dudes was threatening me, he was going back and forth over the Wilder thing, right? So they told me when I told them, everybody knew I was going to the Tank Barrios fight. The niggas told me when they saw me in Atlanta, they was gonna whoop my ass, they was gonna slap me, make me out to be the bitch I am. Well, guess what, Miss T? You know that Hooters in downtown Atlanta?
Yeah.
I walked up in there, and guess who was in there?
A friend.
The niggas who say he gonna slap the shit out of me. I ain't gonna mention his name because it's not important. He still got a channel. So I say, hey man, what's happening, man? Hey, yeah, ain't you supposed to be fucking me up or doing this and that to me? Ain't that what's supposed to be happening? Oh man, man, that was just, just getting my clicks and my views up, man. That's internet shit, man. Ain't nobody taking that. Oh, okay. I was just checking because I'm here.
Hey, look, put it in the private chat. I gotta know. Put it in the private chat. I ain't gonna say
okay, I'm putting it in the chat right now. I'm putting it right now.
In the private chat though.
Mm-hmm. I'm putting it right now.
But yeah, that's the only. I don't knock nobody for saying so, because sometimes you do gotta shock the system, especially blacks against black. You do gotta say stuff, shock the system, and call you out what you're saying. But and I'm from that generation that we kept shit behind closed doors. Nobody knew how crazy we was, or far as people knew, we didn't go to therapy. We didn't do none of. We didn't have to do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? We kept everything. You ain't put family business on the street.
And here's some old shit. Here's some old shit, Miss T. I know you heard this before because you were around my age. Mm-hmm. See, we didn't play that shit back in the day. We got out what we got mad at.
Yeah.
I don't wait till tomorrow. I'm not waiting until I see you after school. I'm not gonna wait until the weekend. Nigga, I get down where I get mad at. Mm-hmm. Right now. Ain't no talking. We're gonna handle this right now.
I mean, you know, it's so bad where I grew up at. I would walk down the street, right? And it was just they since redid this area, but man, them apartments are so bad and rat infested and shit. I walked in the middle of the street just in case I needed a chance, a half a second chance or a second chance to run left or right. Because if I'm walking on the left side of the street and something pop out the woods and it be like a creature or something, it could have been a big ass rat or something or whatever. Or some dude jump out. He got me. I'm on the left side of the street. And same thing with the right. So I will walk in the middle of the motherfucking street in the middle of the night coming home from work.
Exactly.
That shit was crazy. But it made sense to me. It made sense. Now today, if I see my kids doing that, I'll be like, if you don't get your ass.
No, I ain't worried about you now. Because now, see, I can't travel like that. But around here in California, I got a little junior for you.
You got a what?
I got a little junior. You know who little junior is, don't
you? Yo, still?
Little junior stay in my pocket.
He stay in your pocket?
Little snub nose. Snub nose 38. Come on, you want to mess with my old man? Come on. I got something for you.
I ain't finna tussle with you. Girls, I ain't finna tussle with you.
I ain't gonna tussle with you.
Ain't gonna tussle. Like now I gotta go get the Penta. I got the Nina, the Santa Maria. Now I gotta get the Penta. I shit too.
I am not gonna tussle with you, young man.
Exactly. I sleep with those shits. But yeah, it's just like, you know, it's like when you start seeing those folks, we all know who those folks can be. Start using that same lingo on the average person and doing it with glee and playing the same videos, we might feel differently. But I do agree. Sometimes when you talking to black people, you gotta let them know what they acting like and how they being. You know, something because I've done shock value shit too, but I just didn't do it in public.
I just don't like all the tough talk. That's what I don't like. Because you niggas ain't gonna put mayonnaise on the ham sandwich. You ain't gonna do nothing. No.
You make me want to go get my thing. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my little cigar. Hold on. Mm-hmm. That mayonnaise. Oh my God.
Hey, look in the private chat, Miss T. See if you know that dude.
Hey, Shelton.
Yeah.
When you walking and your dogs be at your feet in front of you, all in the damn way. I be like, man, get the fuck out of the way.
Exactly.
He gonna almost trip me up.
Yeah. Want to stop and look and be nosy and shit.
Look, they ain't like that. It's like, tell that bitch shut up. That's what your dog just said.
Yeah, you know what he's saying. They jealous. They want all the attention.
Hey, you seen them little things that they got? These people, they be on Facebook, on YouTube or something. They got these little buttons on the floor.
Hey, Chloe, shut up.
I got a Chloe too. That's a girl.
Mm-hmm. It's a girl.
Them damn girl dogs will scare you, man. My girl dog bark scares me. What about the boy? But they got
see, she barking. She barking because I'm frying some chicken.
Oh damn, he dropped out. He will come back then. But yeah, I want to get them buttons that you hit. The dogs be hitting, and it be sounding out a word. I think it's so amazing, and I see cats do it too. The cat, this one cat, every time the owner come home, just getting off work, and the cat says she tape her cat talking to her. Her cat hit the button, say help. Rufus Rufus is, I think it's the cat name. Help, or it said Rufus litter laundry. I be thinking that shit is so amazing. And basically what the cat is telling her is, change my goddamn litter. And while you at it, get the clothes out the dryer. That's some amazing shit. And that's what the cat wants. I seen the dog say, help. So then his owner comes over. He pressed the button, help. And then he said, what you want, buddy? Use your words. And then he said, for his name, he said, Dad, cuddle. He wanted the owner to lay on the bed that they have on the floor for him and just hug him and cuddle with him. I was like, wow. My dogs are senior citizens now, and I don't think I want to be investing too much into them on their last few years. It's gonna tear me up. I know it's coming. My boy dog, he passed his prime, and I know it's coming. And I know when I got him, I said, I hope he don't pass or anything while my daughter was still in school. I was like, it might even affect her so bad that she don't even graduate high school. Because that's how much she into her pets. I was like, oh my God, I hope he wait till at least after that. But then it's like, I know it's coming. And my dogs are healthy, but they're old. So they have old dog, well, I was going to say old people problems, old dog problems. Like one of my dogs is damn near got no teeth in the head. Because especially the smaller dogs, when they get older, it be like their teeth be infected, behind the teeth or up in the gum area or whatever. And kept having to pull her teeth out. And at one point, the doctor said, you got to get all these out because her mouth, her gums, period, is mushy. It's going to be mushy like hamburger meat. Like I was like, oh my God. And shit, took them teeth out, man. Her gums strong as shit. I hear her over there crunching that food. I still get them hard food. Like, damn. DJ in the building. Was poppin' King?
What's going on, Miss T? How you feeling? You all right today?
I'm good. I've been good. I had some computer problems yesterday because the internet won't act right.
Okay.
Yeah. Got that StreamYard acting up.
Yeah. StreamYard been acting funny lately. I still.
Is that my man DJ?
Oh yeah, what's up, OG?
What's up with you, young brother?
Nothing, man. Just waiting this summer out, man. We got an exciting summer coming with fights, and we're gonna continue it this weekend with the Terminator about to get his third belt.
Y'all come watch it with me. I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna sign on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I be trying to do it every weekend.
Oh, you talking about Saturday? Yeah, I'm watching that. Yeah, I'll come watch it with you. Yeah, hell yeah.
We'll do some live commentary. I'm down for it.
I'm down for it. Hey, I was telling Miss T, DJ, I might have to change my pick, man. I got to put some money on Joe Smith. They got him 6-1 down.
Man, this fight gonna go as long as Joe Smith can take that beating. However long he ain't winning.
But Joe Smith is a dog and he can crack. You know that.
Yeah, he got dogs in his hands, which means he gonna sit there and try to exchange with him. So we'll see how long that lasts. I say 8 or 9 rounds. I give him 8 or 9 rounds.
They call Better Be a Terminator.
That's what I call him.
That's what I want to call him.
I was like, because after his last fight, especially after his last fight with Marcus Brown, and how he got split open after that headbutt, and it didn't do nothing but piss him off. Remember the old Terminator movies? No matter what you hit him with, grenade launcher, shovel, chainsaw, it didn't do nothing but piss him off. So, and he just kept coming after you. You got to kill him to get him out of there. So I dubbed him the Terminator.
When I first seen Terminator back in the day, and that ain't even a scary movie, but that shit scared me because I'm like, it can be true. Like that and Michael Myers, people that you get a business to, you think you handle it, and them motherfuckers keep coming. Oh Lord,
Nah, I think it was the first or second Halloween movie when the doctor from the prison put 338 shells in his chest. Ain't no way he's surviving that. Then fell off the balcony. Ain't no way nobody surviving that, man.
But his ass got up.
Yeah, he got up. Now we on Halloween 25.
I know I won't look at none of them shits. Whenever I start watching as a young teenager, I haven't been back to scary movies. Really, because there's one movie called The Entity. I know some of y'all like scary movies. That movie is an old movie, but it scared me because it was true. It was supposed to be a true story.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see that movie, The Entity?
I haven't.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, that's a good flick. I like that flick.
I haven't, but the scary movies that I grew up on, right, is probably ain't the same with y'all, but Candyman,
oh yeah, that's a cold flick too now.
Yeah, the Candyman movies, the first two, they kind of did it for me. And then Chucky, I was afraid of Chucky. You know what I mean? As a kid, you know, seeing your toy come to life, killing people, you know, it had me looking at all my toys different. So, you know, I was just sitting there with a bat or a pipe at night, just looking at them like, I wish one of y'all would move. You getting the business in here.
It was a trilogy movie. It's old too. This shit scared the shit out of me. It was a lady in her apartment, and it was an African figurine, and this motherfucker was causing hell in that apartment. He was fucking her ass up, stabbing her with the little spear he had in his man. That thing was running around the house. I was like, oh my God. And like I said, the Entity, because I was like, that shit is true. I don't even like to really talk about it because I would, my heart went out to the person that really happened to. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I can't watch. I don't do no scary movies. Matter of fact, you can't even bring that shit in my house. My friends used to be like, it's a movie night. I be like, yeah, what y'all gonna look at? Especially the girls. Mm-hmm. They always want to watch scary movies and shit. I be like, you can't bring that shit across my threshold. Hell no.
It's a couple of them that was like that for me. It was Texas Chainsaw Massacre because that was based off a true story, and the Amityville Horror because those are based off true stories. Yes. So those really made me look at movies, and then The Conjuring later on, but The Conjuring and what's the other one?
Damien, The Exorcist.
Yeah, The Exorcism was what did it for my mama. That was my mama.
That's the one that got me. That's the first scary movie that had me scared to come out the room. I couldn't even go to the bathroom.
Exorcism, Carrie,
had to be light
stuff like that is what really got my mama. But
yeah, that got me too, DJ.
Yeah, it was Candyman, Chucky, Amityville Horror, and what was the other one? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because they two of those were based off a true story, and then we already know about the other two. But yeah, man, it's gonna be some good fights this weekend. UFC kind of dry. But that July 2nd card is going to be absolutely amazing from top to bottom. I'm going to watch.
Oh yeah,
Adesanya and Cannonier.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, man.
How many fights is gonna be? How many fights on the UFC?
I think 11, 12 fights, but all the fights are good. All of them are good.
Showing them all on TV.
They'll all either be on Fight Pass or regular ESPN. Not Fight Pass, but ESPN Plus, Fight Pass, and regular ESPN.
Educate us on Fight Pass because I've never heard of it till you just said it. So it's nobody know about it.
UFC Fight Pass is their own personal streaming service. If you have it, you have access to the UFC's entire library. Everything going back to the first UFC. All the way up through the Strike Force days, the Pride days, the WEC days. You know, you have access to their entire library, Zuffa's entire library. Every fight, every MMA fight you want to see that was under Zuffa is on UFC Fight Pass. And then they carry other lower promotions like Anthony Pettis' promotions, which is Showtime MMA or something like that. It's on there. And you got Invicta, which is the all women's MMA promotion, which the UFC gets a lot of their female talent from. It's on you. They broadcast all their fights on UFC Fight Pass. So, I mean, it's worth the $10 that I paid for it. So,
but where you get it? Like, is it you got to get a Fire Stick, or how do you get to it?
It's just an app. It's just an app. Same way you would get, Netflix or something. You just go to the app store, type in UFC, and it'll give it to you.
So you do it from your phone.
Legacy FC, you get kickboxing matches on there. So
you do it on your phone and cast it to your TV.
Yeah, you can cast it on your TV on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to ask all y'all, D Young back in here with us.
What's good? What's good?
This Mayweather fight coming up again with some guy named.
Is he fighting again?
Yeah, he got an exhibition.
Yeah, Bakuro.
He needs to stop this, man.
That's an MMA fighter. Bakuro.
Yeah, he's picked his fights very well. I wish like I've said all the time, I'm not a fan of these MMA fighters coming to boxing because you handicapping them. You tell them that they can't do half the stuff that they've been trained for. So it's not a fair fight if you get what I'm saying. Like all I'm using is my hands when I haven't been strictly a boxer for years, if at all. So I really don't like when they sucker these MMA fighters into coming over to boxing, because outside of the top guys like Canelo and the heavyweights, the money is the same. So quit chasing these boxing matches, man. They are handicapping you. They putting big ass gloves on you. You can't throw elbows. You can't grapple. You can't kick them in the knees. You can't duck under them and take them down. You got to literally stand there and fight them. Only using your hands. So why would you ignore half the body in a fight?
Y'all don't think they're getting to come up in the pay? D Young, Shelton, DJ? I don't think they're getting to come up when they go to boxing.
Yeah, it depends on who you fighting. If you fighting Floyd or Canelo or Tyson Fury or somebody like that, if you fighting one of the big stars, or if you fighting a heavyweight or somebody like Floyd or Canelo, you getting to come up. I don't see no big come up for somebody coming over to fight Jake Paul. Like, come on, man. Tyron Woodley didn't get broke off like that to fight Jake Paul. He was already a multi-millionaire by the time he came over and fought Jake Paul. He didn't need the money.
Yeah, that
was stupid.
Hey, DJ, you really think they're gonna try to make that Fury and Ngannou? Dana
White's not letting that happen.
Why you think he won't let that happen?
He's not letting that happen. I mean, if it does happen, it's because Francis is a free agent and he chooses not to sign with the UFC, and he'll be stripped of his belt.
But hey, wasn't it a complaint that came out like maybe 5 to 6 months ago saying that he wasn't getting paid as he should?
This is the thing, right? Francis is only fought, despite as popular as Francis is, right? Francis has just fought his first time as a champion. He got the belt. Now, once you get the belt, your money changes, right? Your money changes as a champion. So he was complaining about his money going into his first title defense. Well, you get guys who've had their belts 2, 3, 4 years. They ain't complaining about money because your money change. You get pay-per-view points and everything everything else that comes with the champion. You get a pay bump and pay-per-view points when it comes to being the champion.
Yeah,
Francis has only had one title defense. As great as he is, he's only had one title defense. So yeah, your money's just now about to change, and it came at the end of your contract.
Yeah, like that. Just to elaborate what you just said, because I see that Usman guarantee had went up for the Kobe Covington fight part 2. Mm-hmm. I think he got $2.5 million. And whatever else he got for pay-per-view upside. So
yeah, that was just the guaranteed purse was $2.5 million.
Yeah, $2.5 million. So he probably walked away. He might have walked away with another, like, if we added up, probably about $4 million total.
I know. It was reported that before Adesanya's, before his last contract, after he got his new contract, his guarantee was like 1.1, and I think he walked away with like $5 million in his last fight.
Well, yeah, but you see, you also got to put in that he's I think he's partnership with Monster and a couple other people, so he got a lot of sponsorships.
Absolutely. See, that's what set John Jones up back in the day. That's why he ain't worried about money. A lot of people don't remember John Jones had a Nike and Gatorade endorsement deal. He's good. He's still spending that money.
It was Powerade, DJ.
No, it was Gatorade. It was definitely Gatorade.
Okay. I thought it was Powerade.
And then you had George St. Pierre who had Hayabusa and Under Armour. So these guys had major sponsorships. That's the one thing that really messed up the UFC as far as fighter pay is the fight kit deals. When they start having to wear exclusively Reebok and now Venom fight kits, that's what really messed them up. That's why you get these guys in Bellator and ONE FC getting higher guarantees now, because they get to actually have their sponsors. You've heard fighters say, you've heard fighters say that, well, this person paid me $25,000 just to put a patch on my shorts.
Facts.
So, and
Corey Anderson was the one that came out with that.
Huh?
Corey Anderson was the first one to come out with that.
No, Corey Anderson, Ryan Bader. I think the first big time free agent that Bellator signed was Benson Henderson. When Benson Henderson left the UFC and went to Bellator, he was the former UFC champion. I think he had just lost his belt, and he was coming off of like 2-3 wins. He was on like a 2 or 3 fight win streak. Facts. And then he left the UFC to go to Bellator because of the pay bump.
Yeah. Hey, what class he fought at again?
155, lightweight.
Yeah, all right. I remember Benson Henderson. I wonder where he had went.
Yeah, he's still over there now, but not to get off too much on that. But that July 2nd card is absolutely amazing, man. I can't wait for it.
That's Bellator?
Nah, that's UFC. Bellator fights next weekend. You got Gegard Mousasi fight next weekend, and you got the continuation of the bantamweight Grand Prix tournament.
Oh,
so
nice.
That'll be good next weekend.
Hey, you heard anything about Usman next fight?
Yeah, he's fighting August 20th against Leon Edwards.
Oh, that's
in Utah of all places.
Oh, hell nah.
In Utah. Like, why is the fight in Utah?
Man, they must be fighting at the Apex out there.
Who fighting Leon Edwards?
Usman.
Usman? Oh, hey, let me ask you a question, DJ. I got one question for you.
Max and Volkanovski are fighting for the third time on Adesanya and Cannonier's card.
Yeah, that'd be a great fight. Let me ask you a question, DJ.
Yeah.
Why does Gegard Mousasi just keep kicking people in the ass?
Because he's good. He's good, man. He's been good for a long time. Whether it was light heavy,
very long time. Gegard Mousasi been really good for a long time.
He went underappreciated. He's just been one of those guys who's been just kicking ass for a long time in multiple promotions. Only place he wasn't a champion in was UFC, and hell, he was on like a 4-fight win streak when he left the UFC to come back to Bellator to work with Scott Coker, because he and Scott Coker had a great relationship from Strikeforce.
Yeah, because the UFC wasn't getting the shots. He
was gonna get his shot, but he left before then. So. Yeah, man. I think he had taken a loss to somebody, and he had to work his way back up. But that's the beautiful thing about MMA. I don't care what promotion you're in. You take a loss, you win. Depending on the depth of the division, 3 or 4 fights, you can get another title shot. Heavyweight, you win 2 in a row, you can get another title shot after you lose.
Yeah.
But
I like the system of how UFC do things, though, man, because they always got the best fighting the best.
Yeah, and that's why nobody cares about losses. You get like the champion right now. Well, I still consider him the champion, even though he just missed weight by half a pound on some Fugazi type stuff. Like, but it's what the official scales say. It doesn't matter what the scales in the hotel room say it, or the scales at the UFC Apex said. The Nevada State Athletic Commission said you was a half pound overweight, so you was a half pound overweight. It is what it is.
Who that is? Holloway?
Nah, Charles Oliveira. That's how he lost his belt before before the Gaethje fight, before his last fight. So in my mind, he's still the champion, but technically he's not.
He's not.
He has 8 losses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's the best lightweight in the world. I mean, the guys that he's beaten and buzzed through, what I mean, it's absolutely sensational, man. Like, that just goes to show you can have ups and downs. Glover Teixeira alternated wins and losses for about 3 years there, and then he went on a 6-fight win streak, got a title shot, and end up winning the title.
Same way as Jose Aldo.
Absolutely.
Which he's probably the best. I think he has like the best active resume in the UFC.
It's quite possible. Quite possible, since he's been fighting so long, man. He's beating a lot of top guys, beating a lot of good champions. So I mean, Aljamain Sterling has a great resume right now.
Yeah, I like Aljamain Sterling.
Who else? Charles Oliveira has a great resume. Even Israel Adesanya has a great resume.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, you know, I don't really put too much loss that he had against Hine, because when I saw
that was truly daring to be great.
Yeah,
not none of that Canelo BS where he's already been a champion at that weight class, and all of a sudden he go up there with somebody who hands work. And now he just daring to be great. Now Israel Adesanya jumped up 20 pounds in a weight class he's never been in and fought somebody who outweighed him on fight night by a good 25, 30 pounds. And and he was piecing him up in that fight till John said, "Put your wrestling shoes on."
Oh man, that nigga Jan was throwing him around the ring, man. I say, damn.
He was just too small for that weight class. He was just too small for the weight class.
So,
I forgot, DJ. You was on the Canelo hype train too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I thought Canelo would win on some split decision type shit, but I always wanted to see that fight with him and Bivol, because I thought that was one of the fights that he needed to fight. I actually didn't think he'd take the fight. I didn't think he'd move back up to 175 because he had the Terminator and Bivol waiting on him. If anything, as the undisputed champion at 168, I thought he'd move up and go after Joe Smith Jr., seeing as how him and Bob Arum been yucking it up here lately. But one thing about let me see. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, y'all explain to me why it seems like it's a hold on some of these sanctioning bodies with certain fighters. Like, not to be funny, I know Usyk and them got a lot on their plate with that war, but the heavyweights seem like to be in a holding pattern. And like when they say that, well, we know what's his name, Santa Cruz held on to a title forever, won't even defend
still
it.
Let me tell you how that works, Miss T. I'll explain that to you. You heard the golden rule, right?
The golden rule, as I know it, is do unto others as you have to do unto you.
No. That's the good. That's the one that's in. That's the one that the good people, the nice people, tell you. I'm gonna give you the real golden rule. The golden rule is whoever has the most gold makes all the rules.
Right.
What I mean, Usyk ain't rich.
Right. It's the same reason why
you can pay for rankings, Miss T. You can pay the sanctioning body and get them to do whatever you want them to do, as long as you pay them enough. As long as you pay them enough.
Because
look, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. You gonna get mad, but I'm gonna give you a perfect example. How can the dude coming off of 2 straight knockout losses be the number 1 contender for the heavyweight title?
Hey, I ain't gonna get mad. I said the same thing. Talking about Wilder. Talking about my boy.
Yeah, that's my dog, man. That's my dog. But I mean, if we looking at the sport objectively, that's only fair, man. Like you
can't explain that.
The same way, it's not fair. It's not fair is what I'm saying. Like it's the same way that Teofimo Lopez came off of a loss and never had a fight in that weight class, but he's ranked, and he came out at number 2. Then they dropped him to like number 4, number 5, or something like that. He's never had a fight in that weight class, coming off of a loss, and he's moving up, and all of a sudden he's top 5 in the WBO at super lightweight. So nobody can make that make sense for me. But other than you pay for the rankings, and it's the same thing that's going on right now at super welterweight. How come not even a week and a half, 2 weeks after Jermell Charlo becomes undisputed, he's got 2 mandatories, but y'all didn't have that same energy for Canelo. Make it make sense.
Right.
I'm waiting on
that's true.
Canelo. I can't understand that one. That motherfucker got them in a holding pattern. They circle in the air. They doing figure 8s in the ocean. Like when we was in the Navy, we ain't want to pull in. We started doing figure 8s in the ocean. That's what they doing.
I told you, Miss T. Whoever has the most gold makes all the rules.
And then Pete, this. How come Canelo and Bud was 1 and 2 in the pound for pound? Canelo take a loss. Bud dropped down in the ratings. What happened with that one? I'll explain that one.
And I don't know. ESPN pound for pound has been trash.
They can't put a rule over our eyes, Miss T. We know who's number one pound in the world.
You said it's an ESPN thing, DJ, because he ain't
Yeah,
directly
they list been trash as shit. When Bud was over there mashing shit, they were still promoting Lomachenko over him. So
yeah,
I mean, and then how can even before Jamel won undisputed, like I have this, I don't put heavyweights on my pound for pound list, but you had Tyson Fury and Usyk on your pound for pound, and Lomachenko, who doesn't have a belt, who's coming off of a loss. I don't care that he beat up that walking punching bag with arms in Nakatani, and I don't care that he beat up Kome, who passed it. I'm sorry, it didn't do nothing for me to keep him on the pound for pound list. And who else did they have on there? I don't really watch fights below 118. I'll watch them here and there, but below 118, I really don't care to watch them. You know what I mean? Even though everybody says super flyweight is the division with the true four kings because they all fighting each other.
Yeah, but how they get in the way? And then y'all heard the news about Tyson Fury, who have not been first of all, he haven't been stripped of the WBC. Remember that was on the docket back in early May, I think, maybe the end of April.
Because he was talking about retiring.
He said he retired. WBC was supposed to strip him and give him the emeritus belt, however you pronounce it. Whereas whenever
the emeritus belt.
Yeah, so when he want to come back, he could come back and jump right in the head of the line. So I was like, all right, y'all want to do that to him. But now Tyson Fury is saying that him and Frank Warren are cooking on something, one or maybe two fights more. They didn't say what the something was, but we don't know what it could be. It could be in the exhibition. It could be WWE, or it could be an actual fight. Apparently him and Frank Warren is coming back. So they saying that that's hitting around that Tyson Fury might come back. What y'all think about that?
I mean, I've heard that before. I've heard that been put out there before that he's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Personally, I don't think he really cares to fight Usyk. I think he wants to fight AJ. I think he really wants to get that all UK heavyweight undisputed match going. I think, but also Bob Arum is trying to distance himself from anything MTK Global and anything Daniel Canahan. So I'm surprised Josh Taylor got a fight. So as soon as that indictment came down on Daniel Canahan and they froze all his American assets, Bob Arum said, "Oh no, we good. Hey, no, we're not doing business with him no more." So, you know,
Bob dropped him like a wet food stamp, didn't he?
Right. So Bob is trying to. I don't know what he got going on, but I think Bob more than anything is trying to distance himself from anything dealing with MTK Global and Daniel Canahan. So it's real crazy dealing with Tyson Fury and Josh Taylor and other guys like that right now. As far as fights go, that's why I was saying I was surprised Josh Taylor got a fight.
That's why I was saying if Deontay come back, fuck the WBC ranking. I was with you. I said, how do you take a loss? You know, and y'all know it's Deontay country over here. But I say
absolutely.
On the books,
he took two knockout losses and still number one. Yeah,
he got ranked. Yeah, number one. How is that? And that just shows you that Mauricio Sulaiman and all of them, they ain't no non-profit. They are for profit. And Mauricio Sulaiman better walk lightly because he in bed with MTK, and he basically like, I don't give a fuck. I did a video before and I said it was three of them. It was Mauricio Sulaiman, Josh Taylor, and Tyson Fury. Them three was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still rolling with MTK. Daniel Canahan. Still with him. And I was like, whoa, everybody else been forewarned. When America tell you when the government, the Treasury, the Homeland Security, anybody like that tell you, hey, it's Christmas time. Y'all better unask y'all affiliation with Daniel Canahan.
Right.
I think that's what you better do. I think you better do that with the quickness. Because,
and not for nothing, Miss T. Shout out to my guy L Dub, man. L Dub Boxing. I've been talking to him here and trying to just, not only figure out what's going on with the fight we want to see. It's we've been looking up venues and where could it be? MGM Grand is booked and all different type of places. So we've been going back and forth with that. But Raider Stadium is empty at the 1st of October and the 1st of November. Well, November 5th rather. So we're trying to figure out, where that fight would be. But one thing that he's gathered throughout these negotiations was what's the big holdup. It ain't the money or nothing like that. It's PBC and Showtime are trying to make sure that Daniel Canahan's fingerprints are nowhere on this fight. They don't want they trying to make sure, because he was Bud's advisor or manager or whatever for a while. They're trying to make sure that Daniel Canahan is nowhere near this fight. They have no problem with Bud. They have no problem negotiating with him. The issue has always been, we don't want Daniel Canahan on this fight. We know he's a criminal, and now with the indictments rolling down, especially in America and in the UK, we don't want him anywhere near this fight. We don't want this fight to be marred by anything he has going on. We don't want this fight to be affected by anything he's got going. So if you can guarantee us that he's not anywhere near these negotiations, we have no problem moving forward. But as far as like all the splits and the location, and they still working on a venue, I'm guessing, all of that's been put in place.
But you know what, DJ? I feel you saying that, and that would be something that all of these fighters, from Top Rank, Golden Boy, DAZN, Mayweather Promotion, whoever else out there, make sure your affiliation is cut, and anybody putting the fight together would do themselves well to make sure that there's no connection, no kind of way, shape, form in the back end or what front end or whatever side end, because he's wanted not just by America, he wanted by Interpol and the Irish police. I mean, in several other countries. Absolutely. And so, yeah, they do well to do that. But I'm gonna tell you this: Bud never signed no agreement with Daniel Canahan. He never did.
Yeah, I don't think he was his manager on paper. I just think he was his advisor. That's why it's so hard for Showtime, and because it's not Errol's team, it's just Showtime and PBC that don't want anything to do with Daniel Canahan. It ain't necessarily Errol or Bud that's getting in between this. Can you guarantee us are you talking to him at all?
I think his closest affiliation was by virtue through Bob Arum, because Bob was in bed with this dude. Yeah, and Bob pulled back like a mug. But anybody under Bob, that means you was in bed.
That man's smart. Hey, one thing we can give old Bob Arum, he ain't dumb.
Not by a minute.
Not by far. That old bastard still got his wits about him. Hey, hold on, say what now? He what? Yeah. Security. Crap, everything dealing with him.
Canahan is moving state, country to country. They ain't gonna catch that dude for about 10, 15 years. They gonna catch him.
But he can't get to his
he's
money.
been in Dubai for how long?
Yeah. When they get to
that's what I'm saying. I mean, people come, like they say, they froze his American assets. You think he gives a shit about that money? He got so much money. That dude's big.
Every time they have a fight over there, I be raising my eyebrow. That's why I say Eddie Hearn better be watching out when they be like, "Oh, we're gonna have to fight in Dubai." Let me guess. I know why. But
ain't no extradition in Dubai. They ain't let you come in there and take them. They let no foreign government come in there and take.
Well, he got the money to pay whoever he needs to pay.
Right. So, there's no extradition, and ain't nobody coming to get him, so he can move around freely.
And DJ is absolutely right, because Ms. T, you know that Canahan negotiated that $6 million payoff for Bud.
Did he?
Yeah, that purse bid. Yeah,
he negotiated that.
For Bob?
Canahan negotiated that for Bud, for Crawford.
He had to do it through Bob?
Yeah, remember him and Bob were in bed together because they was they was in bed together. That's why it's so hard not to, because it'd be easy to prove it away. Hey, it's on paper. I'm not dealing with him. If he was his manager on paper, right? It'd be easy to, go to the network and go to the promotional company and tell them, hey, look, I'm no longer with him. But since he was just an advisor, there's there's no paper trail, that's really affecting Bud. But at the same time, PBC is like, hey, yo,
it's the network.
You really not talking to him? Like, are you really not talking to him, bro?
Because the thing is, if Bud had any kind of affiliation with Daniel Kinahan, the fans would already be hollering at him.
Right.
I think Bud talked to him prospectively, like, hey, looking down his future, like, yeah, maybe I might want to get on your team. I don't think it came to fruition. And so that's the break. And MTK, people like Pro Bellum, they just made the tires go flat on Pro Bellum before they could even get started. Because they was in bed with it too. So, and it was another company too. Just fuck Richard Schaefer shit all up. You know what I'm saying? With the Pro Bellum.
Yeah, that's why Regis is on standby right now.
Yeah.
So
he just thought he was doing a good deed. But DJ, I do gotta hear your perspective on it's a couple of things. So yesterday we was talking about the fact that a lot of the notable fighters like Roy, Tarver, James Toney, Ali Malignaggi, they put their thumb on the scale when it comes to their opinion on the pending fight of Bud and Earl. And Team Spence, for the most part, or his fan base, they got in their feelings. What you think about that?
I think these guys are, besides Tarver, these guys are legends of the game, and they're entitled to their opinion. Roy, this is nothing Roy hadn't said. Roy's been picking Bud over Spence. I have no problem with that, right? You pick who you want to pick. I'm glad these guys made actual picks instead of riding the fence. Well, it's a 50-50 fight. I just want to see the fight. I'm glad they gave their honest opinion and let people know where they stand, right? I appreciate that. The problem that comes in, I think all fans would agree with that. The problem that comes in is you have guys like James Toney, who's picked against Errol Spence in 3 out of his last 4 fights, saying it wouldn't last 6 rounds. Well, it seems, I'm not in the man's head, right? I don't know the man from a can of paint. It seems that you have an axe to grind with Errol Spence. The same way with Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins insinuated that Errol Spence faked his injury before the Manny Pacquiao fight, and you also have a fighter that you're promoting in Errol Spence's weight class. So you have an interest in either one of these guys winning or losing, right? So you have a vested interest in this weight class, even though you're not fighting them. So I think especially Bernard Hopkins, because somebody had to hit me to the James Toney thing. Especially Bernard Hopkins, you kind of gotta take it with a grain of salt, because you've already accused the man of faking injuries and whatnot, or insinuated that the man was faking injuries. So I mean, what Tarver said, cool. I don't think Tarver's a Hall of Famer. That's just my personal opinion on the guy. But what he said, cool. He was a professional. It's his professional opinion that Bud will beat Spence. Cool, no problem with that. Roy Jones, we've heard Roy Jones for the past 2 years saying that Bud was going to beat Errol. Cool, no problem. But a lot of them same guys also picked Mikey Garcia to beat Errol, so I ain't really worried about it. Sugar Ray Leonard also picked Bud to beat Errol. So it's these guys giving their professional opinion. What the problem I think a lot of Spence fans had was you got guys like James Toney and Bernard Hopkins that just seem a little bit disingenuous, and it's a little bit extra.
Now wait a minute. Hold on, DJ. Hold on. Let me stop you right
there. Why can't say what I'm gonna say?
Why can't it just be that James Toney has an opinion? Why can't it be that?
I agree with you. He has an opinion, but I think it's something behind that.
What?
Just going off his past behavior, and he picked Danny Garcia to beat him. He picked Mikey Garcia to beat him, and he picked Ugas to beat him. So you clearly don't like him as a fighter. So you saying that Bud will beat him is not anything new.
So hold on, can I interrupt? Go ahead, Miss T. So I heard that argument. I'm glad you said that, DJ, because that could be a logical statement right there. What makes it illogical for me is, in the same breath, if you take any fighter or a person or a fan or YouTube content creator that always pick Earl to win, isn't that the same thing? It's the opposite side of the coin. If you're a person that always pick this guy to win, no matter rain, snow, sleet, or hell, but you just saying, but that person is picking them to win because to them they the goods, they proven goods. Then you have another person at the other end of the spectrum who's always picking them to lose, and then they'll say, "Oh, they got an axe to grind," or they something fishy, but how they feel about them. But these are two of the same situations, just opposite ends of the spectrum. So if it mean that for one end, what does it mean on the other end? That person that always picks Earl is biased, getting paid under the table for repping him. And
it's two sides of the same coin, Miss T. You can get somebody who always picks Errol because they love Errol and they're a big fan of him. But you can also get somebody who always, no matter what, picks against him, which shows me I don't like this dude. I don't like how he fights. I'm not a fan of his. So no matter who he fights, I'm gonna pick against him. So you understand how, okay, you saying Bud will beat him now. It changes because we all think that's a 50-50 fight. It changes now because we already know that you don't like Errol. So your opinion or your analysis is already jaded because we know you're not a fan of him. So we know which way you're going. You get what I'm saying?
Right, but I just want to make sure I muted you, Shelter. There was some noise going on. It's like a humming noise or something.
It'd be the same way if somebody always picks Errol Spence.
Well,
we know you love Errol Spence, so we know which way you're going. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just say they gotta keep that same energy.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
They made that
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
That's the Mexicans out here with this clown music.
Oh, that's what it is. I'm like, what is that? So yeah, we just gotta keep that same energy. So if you're gonna say, I'm just saying for me, if you're gonna say that James Toney don't like Earl Spence, or what they say that about Roy, and I think Roy been into Crawford for a lot longer than a couple of years because I remember.
It's been a while.
They used to hang.
It's definitely been a while, Miss T.
But
that's why I ain't got no problem with what Roy said because Roy has kept that same energy. You see what I'm saying? Right. But he also picked Errol to beat Ugas, and he picked Errol to beat somebody. I think he picked him to beat Danny Garcia. He just don't think he can beat Bud, which is fair. But when you go to James Toney, who never picks Errol Spence, so when you come in here and say you picking Bud and Bud will stop him in 6 rounds, we know you biased. We know you don't like Errol. That's what the fans were saying. Okay, we know you don't like Errol.
Let me tell you something. Let me say how far I went, DJ.
In Tarva, but Bernard,
DJ, let me tell you how far I went today.
This man done faked injuries before, so we know you a little biased towards him.
Let me tell you how far I went today. This is how far I went. Motherfucker said on his show that Terrence Bud Crawford ducked Lamont Peterson.
Oh man, you can't take that shit serious.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't take none of that shit serious. Like I only think it was a couple situations. Like you heard me say this before, OG and Miss T. You probably heard me say it too. Outside of maybe 3 or 4 fighters, right? I don't think any of these guys have honestly ducked each other. You get what I'm saying? I think it's the politics and the business of boxing that keep these fights from happening. Like, I never thought that AJ was necessarily afraid to fight Wilder. I think Eddie Hearn looked at Wilder and said, why would I send my chinny fighter halfway across the world to fight a knockout artist? You see what I'm saying? There's only a handful of people I think legit didn't want any smoke. You see what I think Cotto early in his career legit didn't want any smoke with Floyd Mayweather. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think Ryan Garcia did not want to fight Devin Haney. I think Teofimo did not want to fight Devin Haney. So they hid behind the business. Well, I got a mandatory. I got this issue going on. I got that issue going on. I've never seen where a guy got a title shot and didn't want it.
Do you think Jamel Charlo want to fight Terrence? Because they make it seem like it's sacrilegious for Terrence to set that as a goal. If he so happened to be victorious And y'all notice how I said that so happened to be. I got Bud winning, but stranger things happen. But if he wins,
he better leave Jermell Charlo alone. I have no problem with him if he wants to go after Jermell Charlo. I have no problem with that.
Did Jermell Charlo?
That's daring to be great. Going from 35 to 54. That's some Floyd shit, right?
But
that's
DJ,
truly daring to be great. I think he'll get his ass beat by Jermell Charlo, but that's neither here nor there.
My question is, DJ, why do Jermell Charlo be dismissive about that or act like it's sacrilegious for Bud to even entertain the thought of trying to move up and go straight to him? Why do that? I mean, that is the natural progression. If Jermell Charlo was where Bud was at and Bud was where Jermell at, Jermell would say, I'm going to finish 147. And then after that, I'm coming for you, Bud. Why is it normal when these guys do it, but abnormal if Bud do it? That's my question.
Nobody's picking on Bud. Jermell Charlo brushing off dudes in his own weight class. You think he want to fight Tim Tszyu? He told Tim Tszyu he sucked, man. He's brushing off Tim Tszyu. I don't want to fight, man. For what? He sucked. So he's doing the same, especially now he's gonna do it to the same guy from a lower weight class. Man, you better tell it, man. If he bring his little ass, go fight Errol Spence. And if you beat him, you come up here, I'm gonna knock your little ass out. That's what he said.
Another question. He doesn't see.
I'm not gonna say he sees him. He probably sees him as a great fighter, but he don't see him as a threat. You get what I think that's what Jermell Charlo is at.
Jermell got heart, man. We can't sleep on Jermell. But I would say this: you got Jermell, you got Jamal, and you got Errol Spence. And I'm gonna throw one wrinkle in it with y'all. I hope y'all remember. You remember when Iris Landy Lara was in that group?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they was buddies? Oh, that's my brother and all that. And I was waiting in the wings to see if they ever try to entertain, mixing it up with Lara and shit. And then it seemed like Lara just fell off out the group or some shit. But I was just thinking about that today. But the problem with telling somebody that they ain't shit, their resume ain't shit, and you know that Errol has said that about Terrence. You know that Jermell has said that about Terrence. Questioning his resume and who he fought and how he get rocked and he got hurt by Gamboa, or he got hurt by this person. All of them get hurt by somebody. And so those arguments don't make sense. I just try to let that one go in my ear and out. But you notice how a little bit more humble Jamal is. Because if you gonna start the complaints that they make about Terrence, you definitely talking about Jamal. What y'all think of that?
Well, you wanna go first, OG? But say you on mute.
Yeah. Look, Mark Charlo can't talk shit about nobody's resume. He know that. When you fighting Cornelius Bundrant, 5'6", when you fighting Brandon the Cannon Adams, and you fighting Dennis Hogan, and somebody named Kobarov, just stay in your place, man.
But look, why did his brother and them put him in that predicament? Because
his brother didn't put him in that predicament. He put himself in that predicament by saying, "Shoot, I'll come down and fight you at 54."
What I'm talking about is,
why are you worried about Bud? Why ain't you moving up to 68 and fighting somebody you're supposed to fight? Why are you talking about you coming down to 54 to fight Crawford?
What I'm saying is, when they talk about a resume, you ain't fought nobody. If you my brother, I don't want you to make that argument because somebody's gonna turn around and say,
"You ain't fought
about Bud, or you talking about your brother?"
Yeah, because your brother ain't fought no goddamn body either.
Nah, it's on my ass.
DJ don't like it when I say that, but DJ knows the goddamn thing.
Yeah, we all know that. We all know you hate Sean Porter and Danny Garcia.
That nigga ain't fought nobody, DJ.
I'm gonna say it like this, right? Ain't no 60-pounder got no business talking to a 47-pounder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna keep that. See, I'm all for what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right?
Amen.
I didn't like when Lil G was talking. It's pretty much the same situation. When Andre Ward was telling Triple G to move up and fight him, everybody tried to make it seem like, see, that's another reason why I can dislike Triple G. HBO and them cronies over there at HBO tried to make it seem like Andre Ward was picking. He was picking on Triple G by telling him to move up and fight him at 68. And Triple G, out of his own mouth, said, Ward's too much for me. Ward is too much. It's too much for you to go up 8 pounds, but you'll go down 10 pounds or 13 pounds to fight Floyd Mayweather. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing now.
It's asiness.
So you'll go down, Jamal. You say you'll go down 6 pounds to fight Bud, but you won't go up 8 to fight Benavidez or Andre. So, it's what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I mean, you shouldn't be talking to nobody 2 weight classes below you. Like,
DJ, do you see how with his brother Mel and Errol say out their mouth, they kind of making Jamal look bad? Because everything that they're talking about, you are describing your brother.
Oh, we all know when them two fight, it's like Cain and Abel. It's pure entertainment. But I hate it for them. I hate when they fight like that, but it's pure entertainment. But at the same time, it's like, what was I about to say? Yeah, man, Jamal's got other business to handle. I hate that Jaime Munguia fight fell apart thanks to Oscar, and Oscar trying to double back and say,
wait a minute, DJ, stop right there.
What?
You watched the fight Saturday? You watched the Munguia fight Saturday?
Hell no, I ain't watching him crush another can.
If you had watched the fight, you would see why that fight fell apart.
Why?
Did you see how he looked? He looked like shit.
He couldn't make weight.
Couldn't even make weight.
That nigga almost passed out at the weigh-in of the previous fight.
So it's time for Munguia to move up.
He go
I'm gonna you code
and kill himself fucking with
I'm
Oscar.
gonna give you code. Miss T, I'm gonna give you code for what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that fight fell apart because Oscar knew that Big Maul would have kicked his ass.
I believe it, but I don't believe that Maul was been pressed to fight Canelo. He been bowing down and kissing his butt too much for me, giving him too much respect. In other words, and then the Benavidez, them two together, if they want it to happen, that is not hard to make. And I got my eyebrows raised at both of them.
I'm gonna explain something right quick. You got 2 types of fighters in professional boxing right now. You got a very small contingent of fighters who are chasing greatness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you got the other, I'll say 75 to 80% of fighters who are chasing the bag. Big Maul falls into that second category. He don't give a fuck about being great. He don't care about legacy, none of that. He wants to get paid. And all he can see in his eyes is Canelo. I can get paid.
So the other question I have, because I'm glad you guys are a wealth of knowledge. I love when you come on, both of y'all. So my other question is, can we see, because I got to catch y'all when I can catch y'all. My show yesterday, I asked a question. Let's go out to both of y'all. Can we say that Bud Crawford is a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely. Only thing I saw with that the other day, I thought it was weird that they enshrined an active fighter. But I have no problem with him going into the Hall of Fame. 3-division champion. We know his resume. We're all fans of the sport. We know his resume. So what's next? If Adrian Broner wins his fight in a few weeks, we're going to enshrine Adrian Broner too. Adrian Broner's a 4-division champion. So we're gonna put Adrian Broner in there too. I thought it was weird that they put him in there while he's still active. But he's not in. Be in there.
They just made his cast, DJ. They just said, we're making your cast down because we know you on the way.
Yeah.
So we just get this part out of the way.
But they casted. They went through everything besides actually putting him in this class.
Exactly.
Right.
They did all but announce what class he's gonna be in, right? And I just thought that was kind of crazy that they decided to go ahead.
So let me ask you this. Let me stop you right there. Let me ask you this. So do you agree with the guy yesterday who made the thumbnail saying was the Boxing Hall of Fame at Errol Spence hate fest?
No, it wasn't an Errol Spence hate fest. It was just them guys appreciate greatness. I think they all appreciate Bud's skill set, and I really think they just wanted to give him his flowers. I have no problem with anything anybody said. They giving their opinion. It's just that two of the guys, people kind of sat back and looked at. We get it. You not partial in this though. You're not being fair and impartial because you don't like him anyway. So, but we get it though.
But I have to rebut that notion, even though I know a lot of people feel that way, and I'm not knocking you. I can actually see why people will feel that way. So let me start off there. You know, especially if you're a Spence fan, or even if you're just a Bud and Spence fan. I can see if you see somebody constantly picking against you or whatever, why you could think that. But I'm telling you guys, we have to look at big picture. That's one end of the spectrum. You have to look at the other end of the spectrum. If that is the case, then some of these people got to explain why they always pick him to win. They say he's a big fish. He can't lose. He will smash him. He will kill him. They are 100% sure every time Errol Spence laces up the gloves, he's winning that fight. And then, you know, and so to me, you have to look at it like both ways. Are you being paid to feel that way? Are you biased? To me, those are like, to even say it, it's one of the things that you might think it and you might say it behind closed doors, but to put it out there in the air, the atmosphere, or the cloud, or what, YouTube, I mean, it's like, you know, you open yourself up for that. Because if that's true, that they have a disdain for Errol and they always bet against him on some vendetta shit, but they just don't like him, then it's also true that the people who claim Errol will win every fight he does fight, they biased. And they getting paid to be. Somebody can say that. Both of which, if either one of those sides of the equation is true, they bad. That's bad. That's bad to be that way. So,
Miss T,
it's mighty funny. It's mighty funny, right? That the same people that Miss T talking about say they love Errol and they're just going for their brother, right? I'm pushing for my black fighter. It's the same motherfuckers that are calling another black man who got a black wife, a black family man, never been in trouble. They call him top ranked Toby.
Yeah, that shit was ridiculous. I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that at all. So, leave that man alone. He made a decision for his career. Now, we might not have liked it. We might have wanted to see him do something else, but he made a decision for his career and how he wanted it to go. And that's just where it's gonna stay. I have no problem with him doing what he need to do for his career. I didn't like when everybody was calling him top ranked Toby and all that shit. That was ridiculous. That
and
was
how
ridiculous.
They say
like
black
you said, he got a black wife, black kids. My man,
yeah, you know,
my man,
black
on black, but you gonna call the man top ranked Toby? I mean, come on, man.
And
that was ridiculous because his kids got to hit him.
How you gonna call him top ranked Toby?
Some of the people forget, man. These folks' kids got to hear this shit that you say about them
and go to school.
You know, they got to go to school and hear this shit. So we got to be, you know, we got to be responsible in what we say.
How you gonna call this man? How you gonna call this man Toby, but your fighter sitting up there with Maria in his house?
Well, who?
Maria.
A non-black citizen. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
That's one thing, DJ. A side note, kind of. I don't care what discipline we're talking about. I really do not like, me personally, and I'm black and I can say this. I don't like when people get all black power on you. And what I call black power is you always want got something to say or trying to direct what's wrong with the black people. We gotta do this, we gotta do that. Like you speaking for the masses, and then you got Becky on your arm. Now I don't care who you love and your heart wants what you want. But let me tell you, if I got Mr. Ken Doll on my arm, I have relinquished my opportunity to be Miss Black Power.
That's what I'm saying. How you go? What's the first rule, DJ and Miss T? What's the first rule of being pro-black?
Marry black.
Got to have a black woman in your house. That's the first rule.
Yeah.
How you gonna tell me about being pro-black?
It's not that.
How you gonna tell me about being pro-black when you sit up there with Miss Ling Ling in your house or Miss Maria?
I mean,
you can't say nothing
like
about
being
you can't say nothing to me about being pro-black.
You can listen. You can love who you love, but we can't fake the funk, because if you're telling me, like, I want to help all y'all black women see what's wrong with y'all, got to, I don't believe you. You understand? It's almost like somebody say, how you gonna tell a millionaire to make deals and you a $100 at best? You know, you can't really, because what you fall in that trap is it's not relatable.
Like the guy you was talking about earlier, Miss T. The guy you talking about, the guy that started with an F.
Yeah.
You're talking about these fighters should have called me to negotiate their contracts. For what? They've been making millions of dollars without you. Why would they call you? Of all people. Yeah. Why?
Like, don't call me to do no $1 million deal, because Miss T ain't never came close to $1 million. I've been I've been 100 there, maybe 1,000 there at best.
At best, I'm definitely gonna fuck your money up. Don't call me.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck all your money up. Don't call me. I'm gonna spend it all.
I'm gonna negotiate a 35-40% managerial fee.
Exactly what though.
I'm gonna fuck your money up, though.
I'm going on the shopping spree. I can't see the forest through the trees, because all I'm worried about is my cut. So yeah, don't call me for no $1 million deals, because I'm not experiencing that. Don't call me. You can call me about parenting, because hey, I done been through fruition. I done had the baby to the grown up. I could talk all day about parenthood. I'm an expert. I'm considered an SME, subject matter expert. But I ain't never fought formally in the ring. So when I hear people make opinions based on the fact of their experience is a good teacher, is all I'm saying. And you know, people who got
that cruel teacher though. It's a cruel teacher first. It's a cruel teacher though. It gives the lesson. It gives the test first, then the lesson. So,
and it behooves you to listen to somebody who got experience. But when you just talking out the side of your neck, so my question to both of y'all, was the response by Earl Spence necessary or warranted? I honestly don't get it. I honestly don't get it, DJ. And I'm not picking on Earl. I honestly don't get it, because there are some people out there, celebrities, pure athletes. Michael Irvin, remember how he went off? You know that dude Jackson that's out of Texas? He used to be a basketball player. Them Earl Spence fans, they pick him over Bud any day. And they said as much. Did Bud ever respond? No. He never did. And I would get on Bud. I would like, why you talking about Michael Irvin? You like football, Bud, don't you? You want to break bread with this man? His opinion.
But but you know, Bud, I mean, I expected that from Michael Irvin, but you know, because he's a fucking Dallas Cowboy.
But you gotta understand this too, Miss T. This is what you gotta understand. It's not just Errol Spence, it's this generation. The people in his generation are very thin-skinned. They thin-skinned. You can't say nothing. Anything you say, it gotta have a response.
It's not that this generation is necessarily thin-skinned. It's just hear everything. There's no escape from it. Back in the day, you go home, close your door, and ignore everything. Now, if you go home, close your door, your phone's still dinging. So you see and hear everything now. It's not that necessarily, and you can't go without responding. You can't necessarily always go without responding.
So let me give you a scenario.
Because then it'll feed that narrative that you ducking and you scared of it. So now you gotta say something.
Let me give you a response. Let me give you a response to that though. So let's just say this for point of argument. He said, "Fuck them all," right?
Yep.
What if the Hall of Fame voters decide to say, "Well, you know what? Fuck you too."
I mean, the Hall of Fame lost all credibility when they put Antonio Tarver and fucking Rocky in there. So, and Gotti. Once they start putting Gotti and Rocky and Antonio Tarver in the Hall of Fame, they started to lose credibility.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know if that's true because I did see Money Made Crying, and he was waiting for this moment for 45 years. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's still a big.
No, you just said it lost all credibility.
Huh?
That's not what you said. You just said it lost all credibility.
I get it. It's still a thing, but they losing credibility.
I beg to differ.
By those guys, but once.
But we already knew those guys were great though, because we saw it in the ring. We don't need the Hall of Fame as validation. Like Hall of Fame is validation to the athlete. For the fans, we saw you beat these certain guys, so we know you're great. That's a cherry. Like we didn't need the Hall of Fame to validate that Andre Ward was great. We knew that. We saw it. But saw what he did in the ring. Same thing with James Toney and these other guys. Some guys just see that as, I didn't get the respect while I was fighting, so now maybe I'm in the Hall of Fame. I'll get that respect that I deserve. No,
and that's what I think was happening.
We might not have liked your personality, but we always knew you were great.
And I think that's what happened with
Floyd. But now that they're omni-dominated, if you, like I said before earlier in the show, if you wasn't a legend back then, if you didn't know you was a legend, you a legend now. What this does is gives that saying, documentation beats conversation. No matter what somebody call you, they gotta put Hall of Fame as one of your titles. They gotta put champ. This is what they gotta call you. Call me whatever you want to call me. Call me a Hall of Famer first. Right. You know what I'm saying? You just validate. They are now omni-dominated. They're validated, and nobody can take that away from them. So
I'm gonna go to DJ Sport. I'm gonna go to your sport, DJ Football. Mm-hmm. Now a lot of people don't think
we lost.
We lost you, OG.
Said nobody.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody thinks much, nowadays to your sport, our favorite sport, football. Mm-hmm. Nobody thinks that much, right?
Nobody thinks what?
Nobody thinks that much.
Oh, your microphone your signal good, man, because you breaking up. We always hear is nobody thinks what?
Nobody thinks too much. Right?
God, it did it again.
It goes out once he about to
Can you hear me now?
We hear nobody thinks, and then it just goes out.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, try it again.
Steve Largent, right?
Nobody thinks that much of Steve Largent.
Yeah, Steve Largent. DJ know who I'm talking about.
For who? I really can't hear you, OG.
He said Steve Largent.
Yeah, who's that?
Steve Largent, wide receiver for Seattle Seahawks.
Wide receiver the Seattle Seahawks.
Not ringing any bells.
Yeah, you're a young youngster. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know who that is. Charlie Joyner, you know who that is?
Not ringing any bells.
Okay, all these guys are Hall of Famers. So when you say their name, you have to say Hall of Fame wide receiver Steve Largent, Hall of Fame wide receiver Charlie Joyner. Hall of Fame wide receiver Art Monk. You have to say
Monk.
that.
Okay, yeah. A lot of people may not know who Art Monk. I know who Art Monk is, but
right.
But I tell you, some players don't need Hall of Fame in front of their name. Michael Irvin,
Hall of Famer.
Bruce Smith,
Hall of Famer.
Warren Sapp,
Hall of Famer.
Jack Tatum,
Hall of Famer.
Howie Long.
But DJ
Marcus Allen. Some of these guys, their legacy is far supersedes the Hall of Fame. Like we didn't need the Hall of Fame to tell us. Like I said earlier, Andre Ward was great. We didn't need the Hall of Fame. We didn't need the Hall of Fame to tell us.
But I think Miss T's point is this: we didn't.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
They needed it.
I need it because these niggas y'all talking about, I don't know who the fuck y'all talking about. Like I
bet you know who Lawrence Taylor.
I remember Lawrence Taylor. I know, like I'm gonna say I know of these people. Like when I watched football, it was back then with Franco Harris, Terry Bradshaw, Tony Dorsett, and shit like that. That's when I watched it.
Miss T, I bet you know who Lawrence Taylor is.
Yeah, I know who he is. And I remember
Hall of Famer. You gotta say Hall of Fame.
But you have to DJ for a person like me. Because I know of Michael Irvin. So I can say, oh yeah, he was a wide receiver for Dallas Cowboys. But what about the person who don't know him? You saw naming all the other guys you named. I didn't know them, but now I'm gonna have to put some respect on that shit because once you say Hall of Famer, this ain't no runner. You know, you can say this dude played football. He played for this team, right? But when you put Hall of Famer on it, you take that name to another level. And I have to put some respect on. This ain't no run of the mill dude that played football here and there. Goddamn Hall of Fame. You see what I'm saying, DJ? For me, I needed that. But those of you guys who watch football like y'all watch, I don't need that. And for people who watch boxing like we watch, we don't need that.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. We didn't need the Hall of Fame to know that these guys were great. Casual fans do. Like, you don't watch football, so you don't remember those names. But the people who actually follow the sport, they know those names. And we didn't. The Hall of Fame didn't validate them because people watched the games. We knew what they did in the games, just like we knew what these guys did in the ring. We didn't need the Hall of Fame to tell us Juan Manuel Marquez was great. We saw him fight.
Right, but
we saw the guys that he beat. We saw the fights that he was in. So
it's only necessary because you'll have a lot more people out there like me who might not know all these different nuances of these different people that participated in sports. And we just need to know, like if you go to college and you get your PhD, I'd be goddamn motherfucker better put doctor in front of my fucking shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's different. That's different though.
But it's the same. It's the
same thing. Just like with you, DJ, it's the same thing. When somebody talk about DJ, they got to say graduate, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Same thing.
But I won't be offended if they don't. It's like if you know me already, you know that. Like if you know me, you know I got you know my accomplishment.
Right. DJ, probably like me. You know what set me off? Somebody, sometimes you get in debate and somebody be like, you don't know shit. Especially when they say history. I'm like, nigga, I'm a historian. I got a degree in history and politics. But they will tell me, because everybody who can read history on their own, they think they're a historian. Because they really believe that shit. But if you didn't go get that history degree, shut the fuck up. Sit in the corner as far as I'm concerned. Because ain't no anybody just get a history degree. All the shit you gotta go through to get that.
Man.
And then now me and you the same person who ain't busting great on a college class, me and you the same? Nah.
No, we're not the same. It's just like yesterday. I was talking to Coach. And me and Coach was talking to some young kid. And he was telling me, talking about how he doesn't think anybody 130 division will be for Mayweather. A lot of people say that.
We barely
I said, well, I don't know about that. I said, I think Ezekiel Pedrosa would have gave him a run. And the first thing out of his mouth was, I said, yeah, I forgot. My bad.
You know what the sound like over there with you, Shelton? I ever know like a guitar where you trying to plug it in the speaker and it's like, it's like, I don't know if it's because it's close or your mic is. It's like that reverb. You about to play your instrument, you plugging it up. You know what I'm saying, DJ? Plugging it in.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You hear me now?
We hear you, but sometimes that bass come in.
Yeah, it's the people out there. But yeah, I think Ezekiel Pedrosa would have gave him a run. I said, yeah, my bad. I forgot. Don't know nothing about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and some people salty because Earl Spence wasn't there at the Hall of Fame day.
He wasn't invited.
I didn't care about that. I didn't care about that.
He wasn't invited.
He could have went as a spectator.
He didn't want to. He said he was training. So
I'm gonna tell all young fighters, from my lips to their ears, in the beginning of your career, that is something I think you should go experience, because it might give you a different perspective. Because one thing I cannot stand, I understand it more when you at the tail end of your career. If every fight you do, you're just trying to do a money grab, a little come up financially, I get it. I ain't mad at you. You gotta get something out of the deal because you went through a lot. Just even lacing the gloves up, getting the ring. I don't care if you're a C level, B level, A level fighter. But in the beginning of your career, nigga, I need you to go for the Super Bowl. I need you to be about that Super Bowl with all the belts undisputed, something. Because one thing, when you sit in that ceremony, one thing you understand, you walk away, those guys and girls are legends. They're legends forever. They're inked into the books, and people 100 years from now will be able to lean back on their career. And it gives you a sense of purpose to become great. Like y'all say, one of y'all said it, dare to dream, dare to really go out and challenge yourself. And when you
dare to be great.
Well, I will say this. I will say the winner of this fight, if it happens, when you talk about Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Duran, Tony, you're gonna
have to what?
You're gonna have to mention.
Yeah.
Winner of this fight. When you talk about all the legends, the Haglers, the Hearn. The winner of this fight is gonna be in the conversation.
Yeah. And I ain't hating on Earl or nothing like that, but I like to mark time, and and remember when Daniel Canahan's story broke? I did a whole thing on that. I sure did put Bud name on it. Didn't want to do it, DJ. I did not want to do it because I was like, man, somebody gonna take that and run with it or whatever. But I can't lie. I'm not gonna cake for Terrence Crawford. Never will I ever. I'm not caking for them neither. And a lot of stuff that they're doing it could probably easily be brushed off. Earl and Bud probably wouldn't be a big deal except the fact that it's Bud and Earl. And for some reason, them two they polarizing the whole boxing community. Mm-hmm. And that's why we getting all this controversy. So sometimes I be saying stuff to want to limit the controversy or to show people their bias, like what I was talking about. If James Toney and them got a disdain for Earl, then the people who rep Earl and say he'll win every fight, then they biased. Earl paying you. So how about let's not say either one. If Earl is so great because he came back from a car accident that he did to himself, and Terrence Crawford hanging with the wrong crowd, snoozing with the wrong people, he did to himself, came back from a gunshot wound to the back of the head. Which one is more hard to come back from? Like, I don't even want to get in talks like that. So I'd rather not just hear the car thing, because you never really hear, I've never really said or big up, or I don't see fans of Buzz like really saying, oh, Bud and shit, he came back from a gunshot wound. We probably be thinking, nigga, you was stupid back then. I'm glad you course corrected. Because that's how I see it. Real talk. That's why I see it. I be like, Bud, you was wrong for the affiliations you had.
And I'm with you. But you know that guy's name anyway.
He was a dumbass. As most young adults are in their women. Dumb. Young, dumb, and full of whatever. You know what I'm saying? And Bud had to make a course correction. So I'm proud that he did that. And look how wonderful his life turned out to be. Be a father several times over. You should be so lucky. You know what I'm saying? But he had to make that course correction, or that gunshot to the back of the head won't be the last gunshot. And it's still not guaranteed in your life. But he was bringing that shit to the forefront, as well as Earl drinking and driving. He did that to himself. They are blessed beyond belief. They both have two incredible stories of something that could have killed most people, and they came back from it. So that's what I'm proud of. And I just want to say that when y'all when anybody, not you two guys, because I love y'all boxing knowledge and UFC knowledge and shit. DJ, you be on that shit.
I follow both sports, Miss T. I love combat sports. I even still watch kickboxing fights when I can find them, or old Muay Thai fights when I can find them. I just love combat sports, so I keep up with it all. It's just that boxing has been hot this summer. We've had some good I can honestly say from about February, March, that late winter, early spring.
Okay, all right, Chuck, thanks for coming through. Go ahead, DJ.
It's just the
you said from February
from about February, early March. That's when Carissa was fighting and all that, and then you go into March and April. Now you're getting Spence and all these guys fighting. Boxing has been kind of hot so far these past 3.5, 4 months. So, I mean, I've been keeping up with boxing, although I still watch a lot of MMA. I've been keeping up with more boxing because they're starting to give us some really good fights. Like even on the July 9th card, we're still gonna get Max Sayao and Ray Vargas, even though even though the Ray Vargas fight should have happened with Gary Russell last year, but that's neither here nor there.
That's my baby's birthday. You said July 9th?
July 9th. Mm-hmm.
You have to be 21.
21. Ooh, Lord.
I know.
Have fun. Have fun. Have fun. All I can say. It's an adventure. It's an adventure at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been real live in boxing here lately. And then the potential for fights. Like we don't know what's gonna happen at 35. But I guarantee you, since Lomachenko is the mandatory for Devin in 2 different sanctioning bodies, that as soon as he decides to put down his AK and his boots, he'll be the mandatory for Devin Haney. He'll have a mandatory, even though it won't be 2 different guys like they trying to railroad Jamel Charlo with.
They got Tim Tszyu, and I think Pandora.
Tim Tszyu has been the mandatory for going on 2 years now, but that's part of that is it was with COVID that he didn't get his shot, and he was in Australia locked down, so he didn't get his shot. And then Teixeira ended up fighting Castaño and losing, and then once Castaño had that draw with Charlo, that pushed it back some. So I mean,
I think Charlo gonna wash him.
Yeah, he'll dog walk Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu, like Errol Spence said, he trash as shit.
I don't even think Tim Tszyu wanted, because I saw a clip where he was walking out and his people was like, "That's a Charlo right there. Like, go ahead and say something, introduce yourself." But Tim Tszyu was like, "Nah." He walked out. He looked at him behind him. He went straight to his car. But you know what? I don't even blame Tim Tszyu all the way, because you never know what Charlo.
Yeah, you never know the Charlos. You never know. You never know what kind of mood they in. So.
I know, right? You might walk up on some shit.
Yeah, you never know what kind of mood they in, So at the end of the day, they are humans. I've had issues with the way they've handled things outside the ring in the past years, but they are human beings. So I just know that if I ever see them out in public, just to keep my distance, because I don't want an issue between me and them or anybody in their camp, because everybody going to jail. So
listen, that's why I always say
we all going to jail. So I try to keep my distance. But
I tell you, look, I ain't never been arrested, but I'm trying to tell them, like that's why I say I would never go to Texas, because and I don't try to knock the state of Texas. We just talking and here with Mike Jones. I wonder, was he the rapper Mike Jones? But I was saying, a lot of times Texas, and then this is just constructive criticism, guys come off like you're the center of the universe.
No, that's what every sport, Miss T. That ain't just boxing.
Nah, I don't.
That ain't just boxing. That's football, basketball, baseball. It's Texas.
Yeah. I mean, with every sport they do it, but I'm saying the Texans, meaning the people of Texas.
Yeah, they very proud people. They are very proud people. They are proud of being from Texas.
It's beyond pride and proudness. It is to me, because I love my state. Like I said, when I cross that state line, when I go home to visit, man, my blood flow better. I love it. I love Virginia. But Virginia is not the center of the universe. And I don't think everybody in Virginia is top dog and just the creme de la creme.
Everything.
Now, I don't do that shit. And a lot of you
that's just Texas,
do
Miss
that.
T. It ain't nothing, necessarily that has to do with just boxing. That's just Texas. Because I growing up in football, right?
Mhm.
You hear, even being from Alabama, you hear a lot of, man, you from Texas or them Texas teams.
Mhm.
I don't give a damn about none of that. They bleed too. What you mean?
Mhm.
So,
But look at how some of them
Texas
people
high
talk.
school, it's Texas sports and Florida sports. You
But
hear a
look
lot
how they
about.
talk though. We
Yeah,
from Texas.
that's just them. I just accept that. That's that Texas bravado. That's just how they talk. And even with baseball, basketball,
Yes.
they feel like they got the best basketball
Swim
players in the
team,
country.
dance team, whatever.
You
If
feel
you
me?
from
That's
Texas,
just Texas. They proud of
the
their
creme.
sport. They're such a big state. They're a talent-rich state, and they're just proud
You're
of
the
who
creme
they
de
are.
la
It's
creme.
just a Texas thing.
You invented everything. And I'm telling you, I didn't like it when New Yorkers did it. I damn sure didn't like it when ATL people do it. Because for my last 10 years in the Navy, I swear everybody was repping ATL. I'm like, you ain't even from ATL, I bet you. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of hearing it. Where you from? Now what? Okay, you're from ATL. Now where do we go from here? What are we talking? Does that mean you're going to be better than this person that's from Nutbush, Tennessee? Because you're from ATL? That's the part I don't like, DJ. I personally don't like it. It becomes annoying, is what it is. It becomes annoying. And shout outs to Texas. I love the fact that you rep your city, and we should all be proud of our fellow community members and repping our city and our region. But don't take it to the like the ego, the pedalization of it all. It be killing me. I be like, see, you're going too far with it. Going too far with it. We're all humans. We're all Americans in the end of the day. And if Texas made you great and you feel that way, then cool. But stop trying to act like you invented everything, you the be all, the end all, or you better than sliced bread. That part I'd be like, all right, I'm done listening. I can't listen to no more. I'll be like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't believe you because you're basing everything on the fact that you was born and raised there. And that don't mean shit. Got a lot to do with the individual, right, DJ?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So with all that, DJ, I'm gonna go ahead and end because I went longer than I thought I would. I love it.
Yeah, we kept you up late tonight, Miss T.
It's all good. I love it when you come in, and Mr. Shelton, you guys make my night. Every time I see y'all, I get happy. I be like, "Ooh, yeah, okay." Now I'm gonna tell you, when Bud and Earl fight, I may go to the fight. I want to go, but it's gonna be.
I want to go, Miss T, but if they fight in November, I might not be able to do it. I will gladly pay for it from the house, but I won't be able to go.
And that's when I say I go off my strike with the PBC. If them two fight, then I'll pay for that fight. The reason why I say I'll never go if it's in Texas. I'm not going.
No, it definitely won't be in Texas. Miss T, this fight's gonna be in Vegas. Make no mistake about it. This fight's gonna be in Vegas.
Okay.
No ifs, ands, buts about it. This fight's gonna be in Vegas.
And DJ, what recently happened? My daughter went to Disney for a week. She's still a Disney head. And she talked her man into going with him, and he proposed to her. Now, I did some checking. I think I already knew, but I just wanted to double check. I was like, is it a responsibility of the father to pay for the wedding when you have daughters? And I was like,
that's traditionally how it was. It's the father of the bride who pays for the wedding.
Well, see, I've been playing mother and father all my kids' life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's probably gonna follow me. I'm not gonna totally count them out, but I don't believe. I don't know. I don't believe if I go by the past that I'm gonna get help. And she wants a big, nice little, she wants the fairy tale, I think. And I want to give it to her. So y'all gonna see. I'm gonna have to go and give me any kind of job.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this your budget. You better work with it.
Yeah, I want her to have it though. I'm bougie too, DJ. But she showed me how they get down at Disney. But she wants to do a at the pavilion. what they call it?
I'm about to say I've never been to Disney. I've never been to Disney, so
you never. Okay, yeah, the Floridian Hotel has a pavilion, and then they bring them up in the carriage, like the Cinderella carriage. Nigga, I was sitting in there like, reverting back to when I was young. Like, oh, that's cute.
Oh, that's so
I want
pretty. Look at it. Nah, damn that. Damn that. We need an altar. We need a place for somebody to sit, and we got to feed these people. I'm not feeding 200-300 people. What's wrong with y'all?
I don't even know if that many people could come, but I think the highest they charge is 35,000 to the lowest is like 6. But to me, you know, in my head, I'm like, as much as she wanted, I'm bougie like that too. I'm like, girl, you know, we both. I'm trying to think of what fairy tale dress I'm gonna wear. Oh, DJ, I'm locked in. But she, they said that they gonna do it like a couple of years away, so they give me time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and my wife did it small, even though we had our wedding on the lake.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was small. I had 3 groomsmen. She had, I think she had 6 bridesmaids, and we just did it real small, just real small, just close family and friends. Because my big thing was we don't need to spend a whole bunch of money because the honeymoon is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, but my generation spoiled our kids. That's why our children who are grown now, they have this sense of entitlement. Some kind of way we sort of dropped the ball. Plus, I remember when they were going through that change, because when I was younger, Black parents put their foot in their kids' ass, and some whites and some Latino, but we always got our ass whooped because we was so poor. Like, for the most part, most Black folks, we ain't had time, we ain't had the luxury to be blase blah about nothing. We was like, shit, it's your parents' way or the highway. And then I remember when we used to laugh because you had your white friends and be talking to their mama and daddy crazy. You be like, nigga, how you do that shit? Like I couldn't even say what in my house. Mm-hmm. Guaranteed ass whooping. What? Nope. Guaranteed ass whooping. You couldn't even say the words like I hate, or you said, huh? And you get slapped across the room. It's simple shit, right?
Right.
And so I remember that they went on the campaign acting like that was abusive behavior, how we used to get disciplined.
Yeah, it's a lot different now. It's just a lot different now with social media and these me and my wife talk about this all the time. She's in one of these groups called Conscious Parenting, where you should just sit down and have a conversation with your kid and all this type of stuff. It's like, man, look. So me and her have debates about that all the time. Mm-hmm. It's just, everybody was raised different, and they just feel like, well, I got my ass beaten, it didn't work. So,
but it did work. Well,
clearly it did. Clearly it did. It just worked in a different way. You don't see the results, but I see them. So, but it's all good though.
Yeah. I always say you should have a healthy fear of your parents. Healthy, y'all. Healthy. That don't mean abuse. Healthy.
Respect, not fear.
My mother needed. She needed us to know that if she said stop, you stop. Don't ponder it. Don't think about it, because it might just save your life. She might have said stop so you don't run in the street and get hit by a car. But she needs you to stop on a dime. And when they used to call me, my brother and sister, they used to be like, man, your mama got soldiers. and she was serious with that. But they went on that campaign because I think the people who won't whipping their kids' ass want everybody to be like them. And it don't help that people be perverts and abusing kids and stuff like that. You make it harder to have that healthy fear relationship. Like, you can't be your kids' friends. You can appear to be friendly, but you're really not their friends, because they gonna try you. So you better be ready for it. And when they under 10, oh, wonderful. It's a lot of work, but wonderful. Once them hormones start talking to their ass, they have you in tears. But that's all I'm gonna say. But DJ, you got anything to say as we mosey on up out of here?
No, ma'am. Just looking forward to these fights this weekend, and I'll come on in with you because I'm really excited about a couple of these prospects on the card, man. I'm really excited about Troy, the Transformer Isley, the former Olympian. I'm excited about him and his growth in the sport, as well as Shoo Carrington, Bruce Shoo Carrington at featherweight, man. I'm really excited about that kid. I really like him, so I look forward to seeing them this Saturday, as well as seeing the Terminator get his third ring, like I said earlier. I mean, not his third ring, his third belt, like I said earlier. And so, we'll see what happens with that.
That fight is on ESPN, by the way.
Yeah, they're all on ESPN. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Because I know the last time we had an ESPN fight, people thought that they had to pay for it, and I said, no, it was free.
Yeah, it was free. ESPN had a pay-per-view since Porter and Crawford.
Yeah, that's true. That's
true. With boxing anyway. So
yeah, because the Devin Haney fight was on regular ESPN.
Absolutely.
So y'all don't miss it. This gonna be a bomber, like you say, Terminator. I'm anxious. Hey, I got to see it.
Yeah, better be. Yeah, I've been putting that out there for like the past couple months. I hope he adopts that as his nickname. I don't think he has a nickname, but I hope he adopts that as his nickname, the Terminator Baturbiev.
Yeah,
it kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit.
Arthur is his name first name Arthur?
Archer. It's Archer Betterbeef or Baturbiev.
Archer.
Archer.
Terminator
Betterbeef. Arthur without the H. Archer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It should be, so it's his. Just call him by acronym. ATB.
ATB. Yeah, but we'll talk about AB and his comeback at another date, man.
Choo-choo.
Yeah, but I'm gonna let you get out of here, Miss T. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Coming through, and thank you all for joining in and listening and all that. I know we went a little long. Sometimes when the train gets to going, we just keep it going. Anyway, thank y'all for listening. Remember, when you know better, you do better. Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford is kind of like the gift to keep on giving when it comes to news. But, sometimes all of us have something we want to say, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes I don't even talk about them, and a lot of times I do. But I did want to play that update, and I did. And basically, we got to take it from his mouth. We have to go by what the actual person's saying. We can't assume anything. I'm hoping when I hear people say, oh, the fight is this date, or the contract is signed, you don't know the half of it. I'm over here wishing like hell that that's true. But I won't be fooled. I'm going to wait till a credible source. And the credible source in this case is Earl Smith himself, Terrence Crawford himself, or people who are in their camp or team. That means that their trainer said, or in Terrence's case, Bernie the boxer. I go by what he say. If those people do not say it, and I don't believe it because ain't nobody gonna know. They just hoping and they just spreading, in my opinion, rumors that you don't know until you know. They ain't gonna know no quicker than we are. If you a person who hate Earl, you ain't gonna know shit he doing. If you're a person who hate Terrence, there's a lot of that going on. You ain't gonna know shit he doing. It don't, because the only information you can get it is from the person you siding with. And it's two sides to a story. So I just wait for them, the credible source, come out with whatever they say. And whatever update that I notice, I will put it out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. And like I said, when you know better, you do better. Peace out.